All right, Kelly, let's do this VA podcast. Merry Christmas! That was a Battle Royale 2 reference, in case you guys didn't know. But it's 1 a.m. right now, so technically it is Christmas. And by the time you guys see this podcast, it will be Christmas. Or after Christmas. Depends how long it takes me to edit it. But anyways, what is the topic today? Street Fighter 5?
5.
Okay.
Now that's beta phase, the last beta phase.
The last time we will be able to officially play the game. And it was only ran for 3 days. But at least it was for PC and PS4 at the same time. And then no one started without the other kind of thing.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks that we didn't get all the characters right away. But on the last 2 days, I think, we got 15 characters. And we're missing Mr. Fang / Fun.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfortunate, but it's okay. Like, everyone got most of the characters they wanted to play, like Dhalsim and Zangief and Laura. So, it's all good. So, let's just chit-chat a little about Street Fighter 5, because we're getting close to launch here. We only got about a month and a half to go. So, the game's obviously going gold real soon, and we probably played one of the latest versions of the game, so I don't think there'll be too many changes when the game launches. But who knows, right?
I think there will be.
Yeah? Like drastic changes?
I think there's gonna be more rebalancing.
Okay. Like, they are looking at footage, obviously. They are looking at what people are discovering and fixing them. Like option selects and stupid things like that. Like, we saw Xian find an option select using parry and throw with Ryu, where you plink the V skill and the throw one after the other, and then you can option select parrying an attack or attacking a throw.
And then Jay Wong applied that to Gief's V skill.
Yeah, something very similar. But, you know, that kind of stuff is easy for them to fix. I highly doubt it's going to be able to launch, so I didn't pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
But people are figuring out stuff, right? And Capcom's obviously paying attention to this. You know, Kara throws being removed and other things. Ryu's unblockable setups, but he got a new one, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
There was actually some option selects with command normals and special moves with throw. So you could tech a throw in the middle of your command normal and special moves.
Okay.
So that got discovered as well.
Oh, really? And also, we recently found out about the priority system in Street Fighter 5. It must have been in there for a while. It just wasn't really discovered.
Well, it's it's very weird because it only happens during a time of where something would trade under normal conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like it. I like the change. Not change, but I like the priority system. I think it's fine.
Yeah, a lot of people said it came from Third Strike, but it was
there was an
Alpha
Alpha
series.
3. Yeah, it was definitely an Alpha 3. Maybe Alpha 2. I'm not sure.
And it's also in
Definitely
Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
It's even explained in the tutorial in Killer Instinct about the priority system. In case you guys don't know, when two attacks collide, the higher strength normal will always win if they collide at the same time.
Yeah.
Which makes frame trapping even stronger, because usually when you frame trap, you're using a medium attack or a hard attack rather than a light.
Mm-hmm.
So it just gives you that extra frame, just opens up more windows. And maybe they put it in the game to stop some kind of trade option selects that were occurring in Street Fighter 4. Maybe. I'm thinking too hard into it, but it's a cool just mechanic. It's not crazy. Like I said, it's been in fighting games before. So, what else? And then we got the crush counter hard knockdown. So if you do a sweep, every character's crouching hard kick on counter hit is a crush counter now. And it causes a hard knockdown, which is something that you and me wondered for a really long time. And it's amazing how often it occurs in a match. It's so often. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
It allows you to get the V-trigger much sooner. And people are able to, come up with actual, setups now,
Yeah.
Which is nice, because that's something I wanted. I definitely wanted some setups, but I didn't want it to be extreme like Street Fighter 4. It's good to find that middle ground, and I think Capcom did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Really good addition.
It changes so much in the pacing. It's actually amazing. That one tiny change affects the pacing of matches. It's really cool.
Definitely one of the better changes.
Yeah.
In terms of the system of Street Fighter 5, it seems like they never added anything to the game. We're still stuck with the V skill, V reversal, V trigger. For the most part, every character's V skill, V trigger has been intact. It's just numerical changes or slight hitbox changes, but nothing drastically changed. I thought for sure they were going to change Cammy's V trigger, for example, because I thought it was just so plain Jane that it was just some kind of placeholder, but they
Hmm.
kept it. And some other V skills that were kind of redundant to other characters, I figured they would change that too. But it seems like they didn't. It just seems like they're just finding ways to tune them up, so to speak.
Yeah.
V reversals, it's in a decent spot where I still like. It's definitely something you'd want to use, especially to reduce stun. But I still don't like the mechanic overall, as in like one of the core mechanics of Street Fighter V, the out of the V system. I feel
Hmm.
like I still feel like V reversals took up something that could have been something much more cooler to the game. I really, really like the idea of something in the game that requires 1 bar of V gauge. I just don't like the idea that it's an alpha counter, a type of alpha counter. I mean,
Hmm.
um, should the game have an alpha counter like attack? Yeah, sure, but they could have made it so it took super meter, and then have something take that V system in place. I feel, anyways. Um, like some type of personal attack that each character would get that would require V gauge would be really cool. Like something like unique, like I guess BlazBlue with the drive system, some type of attack that they could only do if they use V gauge. Like let's say reuse Donkey Kick, for example. He'd
Hmm.
only get it if he used V gauge. But then maybe Capcom was worried that people would instead avoid using V trigger altogether. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they want to force that mechanic, right?
Yeah.
But then we have characters with Dhalsim where players think that like using their V reversal with Dhalsim is a viable mechanic instead of using his V trigger altogether.
Hmm.
So we still run into that problem. It's just your personal preference. I guess maybe down the road, we'll see maybe different types of V reversals added to the game, like choice selection, like third strike styles, different supers, different V triggers. There's definitely a lot of room to improve Street Fighter V. But if they were to add a new mechanic to the game, I would definitely like some type of attack, something offensive, using the V gauge. A single bar would be really cool.
Hmm.
Also, I still feel like it would have been sweet if there was characters with 4 bars of V gauge and 1 bar V gauge, but they didn't do that either. So we're stuck with twos and
2 and 3.
threes. So that kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world, of course. But
I think they did a good job of balancing it out between twos and threes, though.
they
Like,
did change some of them. Like Zangief used to be 2 bars of V gauge, but now
yeah.
he's 3 total. They did change it. I definitely think they experimented with 1 bar and 4 bars, but I think they just felt like it didn't make sense or they couldn't balance it properly.
Yeah. Like, I don't think Necalli would be as good if his was like a 4 bar V trigger. Obviously, that'd be like more of a nerf because it's permanent anyways.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and then Nash or Vega would be just nuts if they were 1 bar V triggers.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah, for sure. Now when you think about it, especially when they changed the actual V trigger animation, it's a lot faster now. It used to be a lot slower. Um, and then yeah, with Vega, 2 bars, all those kind of characters with like low amount of bars, and if Necalli, he's a character that inherently he's weaker than other characters without his V trigger. Like that's the purpose of the character. And then when he activates, all of a sudden he's a really strong character. If he was 4 bars, it'd be such a small portion of the match. I think that's why Capcom didn't want to bust out the 4 bar
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, but V gauge fills up pretty well, pretty fast. The damage overall in Street Fighter V has been lowered quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're getting pretty close to like Street Fighter 4 territory. I like the high damage, honestly. And the more they're discovering things, I guess we have a ton of instant kill combos, touch of death stuff
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on
pretty much.
with the damage what it was at E3 for sure. So I think Capcom's being safe with that. I really like some of the damage scaling is good. If you combo into V trigger, you get 10% of damage scaling automatically, so it counts as a hit.
Yeah.
So you get scaling when you activate V trigger in a combo.
But I think that's fair.
That's fair. Otherwise, yeah, once again, touch of death combos, and then the supers still don't get reduced below 50% damage reduction. So combo into super will always be really good,
Yeah.
which I like that too.
Yeah.
Because like Street Fighter 4, like I'm telling you, man, it's just the damage reduction is just so ridiculous.
Nobody used supers in Street Fighter 4 because it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, yeah. But it's scaled with the ultras, right? You're getting
Yeah.
like these really low damage ultras, and it's just like I don't know. It was really weird. I
Yeah.
don't want them to punish people too hard for doing long combos. I don't like that idea where like this combo is harder, but it's also worse than this short combo kind of thing. I don't like that
Yeah.
kind of balancing, you know. But the scaling in Street Fighter V is very simple. It's not like complex, like something like I don't know, like Guilty Gear or something where you start with a light attack and then all of a sudden everything's scaled to shit, you know,
Yeah.
big time. But then again, that game's got way bigger combos. Anything else you want to talk about the Street Fighter V system? Like anything you want to change or how you feel about like the game as it is now at launch? Are you okay with it?
I'm fairly pleased with it. At the moment, I don't know what to really change. It's really hard. You have to like take it as a whole, and because we don't really have as much in-depth knowledge, because we've only had the beta phase to work with.
But people are breaking it down fast, man.
Yeah, they're gonna break it down fast, but I think like obviously a year from now, we're gonna have some really crazy stuff discovered.
Okay, okay. You think the game will be played an entirely different way?
Um, I think the fundamental aspect of it, like just footsies and stuff like that, will still be the predominant way to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, once people figure out matchups, like maybe new crush counter setups or different meaty setups or whatever, like once people get used to the system and like used to the engine, then we'll see more optimized play,
Yeah,
more maybe better defensive options, stuff like that.
yeah. Like, what was I gonna say? A lot of things aren't optimized. Like punishing in the game is kind of awkward. A lot of things that don't look punishable are punishable. The way the characters end up away from each other, because the hitboxes in Street Fighter V are really wonky. It's not exactly like you see the attack, but it's not necessarily where the attack reaches, kind of thing. You know, you saw those funny tweets by
Yeah,
F
yeah.
Champ and whatever. They're like, "Fix this, Capcom." You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that people aren't punishing properly. Still,
Well,
like,
they're not using like the optimal punish starters too.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
some things can be punished with like a heavy normal starter, and people are just doing like a jab into special cancel or
like
something.
Qual.
Yeah, pretty much.
Blocking spiral arrows. Like a really good example is if when Ryu sweeps another Ryu player, and
Yeah,
then
pretty
the
sweet,
Ryu
man.
blocks it, and then he sweeps him rather than doing like he can do a hard punch or you can punish
Yeah,
on that like massive damage punish, but people still do instinctively do another sweep. You
yeah.
know, there are a lot of much harder punishes in the game that are still need to be optimized. Little tweaks like that. You know.
Like some specials and normals are punishable on block with super,
Hmm.
for example. Most people aren't capitalizing on that.
Yeah.
Just they don't know,
Yeah.
right? Not enough. Just because matchmaking is so crazy, you barely get enough time in
Oh.
training mode to like really figure the things out like that.
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah. Right now the meta of the game is walk around, somebody jumps, does some stupid block string, does
Cross
a
up,
cross up,
and
does
then
a
neutral
stupid
jump,
block string, does a cross up,
and then maybe neutral jump
and then
after.
maybe neutral jump. The defending player will do his thing, try to cross him up, gets knocked down. His wake up options are always mash, crouching, light punch, or neutral jump, one or the other. And well, we call neutral jump Stang because we got a friend of ours named Stang, and he likes to neutral jump nonstop in every fighting game we play. So when we see neutral jump, we go, "Oh, he's stanged, he's staining," which is really strong in Street Fighter V. Surprisingly, at least online it is. I feel like for average players to want to smash new players, you really need to learn your meaties. It's extremely powerful. You can win your matches on meaties alone, and your anti-airs and cross-up anti-airs. Very important, man. This is a very funny meta in this game right now because I think the reason is because the normals in this game are so slow, and you really got to understand your frame data for your frame traps and stuff. And I feel like people don't want to learn that, can't play the neutral, they can't handle the neutral, so instead they start jumping like crazy. Go gadget spring shoes.
Part of the problem is also there's a lot of pushback on normals, so
Yep.
they're like already outside of their optimal ranges.
They're always in the perfect place for the cross up.
Yeah, but they're
afterwards.
they're always outside of their like poke ranges or like to be able to walk forward and do a poke. If the other person's mashing jab and you push yourself out, right? You
Yeah,
lost your offensive momentum.
yeah.
The only way to get back in there at that point is, besides playing the footsie game, obviously, is jump.
Yeah, yeah. Um, some characters' walk speeds are slower than others.
Yeah.
There's a big disparity in this game, and people, like I said, people just they're impatient and they just want to get in there. Do their combos kind of thing. So it's funny the meta in Street Fighter 5 right now. At least the online meta is. I haven't played Street Fighter 4 online in a really long time, so maybe it's the same. You guys tell me, but for what I've seen, it's really amusing. But damn, meaties are so fucking strong in this game.
I like that. Meaties are like,
And then the counter hit too is just, oh man, brutal damage you get off a meaty. You gotta be really careful to press buttons in this game. Any other system changes from the start to now in Phase 3 that you want to talk about?
mm, I don't know. Maybe buff throws a little. I don't know. I kind of like I'm
Throw
okay-ish.
range?
Maybe throw range. I don't know. Something with throws. Like I like how throws are good, but
Yeah,
they're hard. They're really hard to get in.
yeah.
Like it's hard to land a throw in this game.
I'm still not quite used to the ranges yet,
Yeah, most people aren't used to the ranges.
but damn, it's hard to tech throws online when you're not mashing it, man. I get like V skill Ken into throw fucks me up so bad, man. Every time, it's brutal. But these are characters that can get into that throw range real fast. But
Hmm.
doing that tick throw, oh man, have you tried tick throwing with Bison, dude? It's a
Good
fucking
luck.
nightmare, man.
Good luck.
It's so. Oh, and you play Nash, so you must know what it's like to tick throw with Nash
Yeah.
without using a forward moving normal.
Yeah.
Besides like forward light kick or something. But if you go like crouching light punch, and you walk forward and
Oh no,
throw,
it's
you're just
not
an
happening.
idiot. You look
I'm
like an
getting
idiot.
mashed.
Yeah, you look really dumb. You know. But okay. Well, I know something we could talk about. Let's talk about just the nerfing that Capcom's has done. I don't want to talk about a character specifically. Let's just say in general the nerfing.
Hmm.
Like I said, we've been seeing a trend that many different setups and stuff have been nerfed. Do you feel like Capcom is playing it too safe for launch?
I don't know if safe's the best word. They have a certain idea of what they want the game to be played as, like
Mm-hmm.
how they want a certain meta for the game, and
Yeah.
like these setups kind of break that mold. And it's like also, um, maybe they were unintentional or like obviously they were unintentional. I'm pretty sure they didn't expect some of those setups to actually work the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
But it made characters really stand out from other characters in terms of strength.
Okay.
Like let's take Karin for example. She had that cross under crossover reset after EX shoulder, right?
Okay.
And they took that out. And if she had that still, like it's pretty gimmicky, honestly. Like
Okay.
that reset, and it's really strong.
It's like one of the
And
closest things we had to a vortex in the game
yeah,
so far.
because you could loop it as long as you had the meter for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that put Karin like really ahead out of other characters. And
Uh-huh.
like I don't think that's not only is it not really fair, it's also like not really intended for the character design. She was like more of a footsie oriented character
Mm-hmm.
based on how they designed her. Footsies, frame traps, stuff like that. Like she had amazing normals. And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden she has this mix up game on top of it. And it's like, oh man, this character is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then Mika, right? She had that the corner reset game. That was also fairly strong.
Did they nerf it?
You can't do it anymore.
She can't go underneath the opponent?
No, she can't go underneath the opponent at all.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
So they took that out, right?
Okay.
Like little things like
I,
that.
I, yeah, I'm starting to see the examples you're using, the trend there. You know.
Anything that could be looped,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, like these mix-ups that could be looped,
Mm-hmm.
were removed from the game.
Mm-hmm.
Most setups, per se, like a one-time mix-up, seem to be still intact.
Mm-hmm.
But like a looped setup, like those two,
Mm-hmm.
they're gone.
I see. So you don't think they're playing it safe?
Uh, like I don't think safe is the right word for it. I think it's more of the fact that like I said, they had a specific design for the game and they're just trying to like d patch things accordingly. I'll say
Yeah.
patch, but like alter things accordingly.
Well, one thing
Like
that
maybe
caused. Sorry, go ahead.
like just things like that were unintentionally just things that like designed that just kind of unintentionally worked out that way that the community finds and then took
Hmm.
that out. You can definitely see them as nerfs. Like obviously, when you remove something from a character, it is considered a nerf
Yes.
rather than like a change in this sake because it is beta and sort of and like taking things away is more of changes rather than nerfs.
Yep.
However you want to interpret it, but. Yeah, I can understand people's general complaints about it because you're removing something from the character. So automatically, by removing things from the character, less utility. Maybe it's the character is weaker as a result,
Yes.
depending on what other buffs they give the character, right, to compensate. And
Yep.
if they don't do enough compensation, then it's like, oh man, you just took away everything that's fun about the character. Um, but
Yep.
from my perspective, since between you and me, we used almost the entire cast. Uh, so we discovered a lot with each different character, and I think like even though they took out some of these things, the core gameplay of the character remained intact, and it's still fun to use those characters.
Hmm. Um. Well, one thing there's some controversy is that Capcom says that they're not going to nerf characters. They're only going to bring other characters up to their level. Now, obviously, I'm pretty sure they meant when the game launches, that's going to be their philosophy. So
Yeah,
they want to get every character at an even playing field when the game launches, and then hopefully just do buffs from there, and hopefully not too frequently. You got to remember that too, that these characters are not fully discovered. No characters are. So
no,
we got a very shallow look on every character. So when we see nerfs, they're a lot more impactful when we don't see what the characters are really good at.
yeah,
You know, Ryu especially. You know, like Ryu, my video with like 7 minutes of nerfs. You know, and you can still, I'm like my highest win rate character. One of them is Ryu. He still has all the tools he needs to win, and it's just something I noticed. You know, that I can still win matches with Ryu. Maybe that's a bug, but he's still pretty good. Even though like we would after that nerf list, if you and me made a tier list, we'd probably put Ryu at the bottom if
yeah,
we didn't use him yet.
yeah.
But at least with the Phase 3 beta,
He's
we
really good
we
after
all
phase three.
you, me, and Qual, we all play like a big variety of different characters, so we have a pretty idea of who's good and who's kind of lacking. But I think right now every character can pretty much hold his own. There's no character out there that's really, really weak. But we could do a tier list at the end of this podcast and go through it. There's no character that I'd say is like D tier,
Yeah,
like needs fixing, like badly, kind of character.
yeah.
But
I
of course,
think
we haven't played Fang yet either.
yeah.
So
So I think like for the most part, the character balance is in a pretty good spot. Personally, I think it is.
and like I said, Combo Fiend said that there's going to be a lot of changes when the game comes out. So he says everyone to calm down. I don't know if that was like a PR thing, but
I'm sure you got so many tweets,
I'm sure
whatever,
exactly.
it's
He
nonstop.
he definitely did get rated on the Twitter for a bunch of characters being nerfed. So there is a high chance that Peter was just trying to calm everyone down. But of course, the game's gonna be different when the game launches for sure. Drastically, I don't know. That's the question, right?
Yeah,
But we have a good idea what the direction that Capcom's going. The only thing I don't want is like the game comes out, it's what we expect, and then a couple months down the road, it's gonna be like the E3 build, where every character gets all their tools back, kind of thing. I really hope that doesn't happen, where we wasted all this time when we could have just started from there in the first place, kind of thing. Let's see, but they're changing a lot. It's really weird when you see a game from development from the start. You really see all the changes that could have been. With Street Fighter 4, maybe people could have said the same thing with all the tools that were in the game. The FADC system, there was a lot of things in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like actual normals where you can do like a normal FADC into another normal kind of thing. where there's like crazy extended combos.
Hmm.
You know, they probably took out a bunch of that kind of shit. So we don't know. Um, yeah, buffs, nerfs, system changes. Anything else you want to talk about the system?
Not really.
I'm surprised they didn't change the HUD yet.
No, HUD's okay. I like it simple.
You like it simple?
Yeah, you're the one who always complains about like BlazBlue with its HUD being like so many bars
Yeah,
and
because I
groups.
got screwed over by that fake picture.
If you couldn't tell that fake picture was fake, there's something wrong with you.
What do you mean? Like, I don't play. Well, I did the trials, but like before I saw. Okay, in case you guys don't know, there's this fucking screenshot of BlazBlue where they completely exaggerate the meters.
There was like a billion meters
There's
on the
like a
screen.
billion different meters, life bars, super bars, and all that stuff. And I thought the picture was legit. So, you know, I run to Killy and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these games, man? Because, like, the entire thing is covered. And, well, Killy got angry at me because the picture was fake. But,
You couldn't tell it was fake.
because it was very probable that that could have existed in
No,
an anime fighter.
it wasn't.
That is
It
BlazBlue
wasn't.
in a nutshell. That
It
game
wasn't,
is
man. It
ridiculous.
wasn't. Literally, the guy like copy pasted the life bar and like duplicated it down the screen, and it's like, is this real? What's wrong with this?
Well,
It's like
look at that new character in BlazBlue, that
Oh.
wizard bitch.
9.
Yeah, like, oh my god, man, the character looks so complicated.
It's not as bad as you think. Once you understand it, it's actually not that
It's like an
bad.
RPG character.
Yeah, the characters are really cool though. But anyways,
Anyways, let's get back to Street Fighter V. Okay, so, you want to get onto the characters now?
yeah, let's get to the characters.
Alright, well, hopefully you don't forget about character. Let's just start with, we'll pick a character name, we'll talk about how I feel their playstyle is,
Hmm.
nerfs and buffs if we know any of it, and then, yeah, we'll just chit-chat. Well, let's just start with Ryu right off the hop.
All right.
Because Ryu, a lot of people are familiar with this character. You know, 7
Yeah.
minutes of nerfs. So like I said, Ryu, he lost a lot of tools that he had since the E3 build, but he's still pretty damn strong. Like I said, he's one of my highest win rate characters that I use. He has all the tools he needs to win. He still does a lot of damage. The nerf to the back hard kick really hurt my feelings. 'Cause it was such a good normal, and you can get so much damage off of it. But now with the meaty setups and stuff, I could see why they nerfed it down, where you can only link a crouching light punch or a standing light kick, because damn, you would hit the opponent hard. You know what I mean? If they still allowed you to do a medium punch or a sweep afterwards.
Yeah.
But Ryu's playstyle, he's definitely flexible. You can play him zoning. You can play him up close and personal, rush him down, you know. So he's a very flexible character, and I still think people will be happy with Ryu when the game launches. The biggest change with Ryu in Phase 3 is, since Crush Counter on sweep causes a hard knockdown, Ryu was once again able to do the unblockable setup. And damn, it helped me win so many matches.
Yeah, you were pulling it off on
So
people.
yeah, the first thing I did was we're in training mode with the stream, and I would try to figure out the exact timing for it. And it turns out the timing is you go sweep, and then activate into V-trigger, and then realize it's a crush counter, and you do a crouching light punch as soon as the game resumes the freeze. Crouching light punch, and then begin charging a dungeon. And then the opponent will wake up right when you throw it out at full charge. He has two choices. He can block it and then get extreme amount of damage, because I can dash in, go back hard kick, standing light kick, DP. Or he can choose not to block it, take a lot of damage, and 300 stun. Of course, there are ways out of it. You could do like a wake up super.
Yeah, super
Some
reversal.
type of invincible reversal. But what I like to do is when I sweep them, I'm obviously not too close, so I can make certain things whiff if they did do a reversal.
Mm-hmm.
So there are ways for me to counter it as well. And damn, yeah, it's such a sick setup. But you were telling me, Killer, that they took it out of the game.
Yeah, so apparently they had a Japanese tournament for SF5, and someone noticed that if you land a crush counter sweep and then you V-trigger the sweep, like V-trigger cancel the sweep, you lose the hard knockdown property of the crush counter.
This is really strange, because, you know, people were joking around when they saw the unblockable setup with Ryu that I was doing. They were like, oh no, don't show Capcom, they're going to nerf it. And they already did. It's
I'm sure
already gone.
I'm sure they realized it ahead of time. They're like,
Yeah.
this is too good.
Yeah.
It literally like
It's a
without
strange nerf though because this is a system nerf
yeah.
that definitely revolved around Ryu. They nerfed the system for Ryu. It's kind of strange.
Like rather than not having him be able to V trigger cancel his sweep, like he should be able to V trigger cancel his sweep because that sweep's really punishable on
Yeah.
block.
Mm-hmm.
So being rather than nerfing that property, you change the system around because if Ryu could do it, had like some weird setup off of that.
Uh-huh.
What about other characters,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't know. Like what about Laura, for example? Right? She could do maybe like meaty fireball into something. Who knows?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Yeah, I know what you're saying. Meaty charge the fireball and then do some mix up that way. I'm sure she already has a bunch. But we do know that Capcom does not like people fishing. You know, getting such a huge reward after a guest crouching hard kick.
Mm-hmm.
Into V trigger, especially since Ryu's V trigger is 2 bars. So I could definitely see that. It's definitely can turn the match around in a second. Like I said, amazing comeback factor.
I think it's a fair change because it is a situation that is unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's very like once you get hit by it, like yeah, the person earned it through that crush counter knockdown, but the actual setup itself, there's very few options out of it.
The opponent can do really.
So
It's hilarious how many times I did it during the stream. Like
yeah. So if it was something that like okay, the opponent just needs to block correctly, like they just need to guess correctly,
mm-hmm.
I'm sure Capcom would be fine with it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
this is literally almost unescapable.
Yeah.
That we're aware of right now. There might be more options, who knows? But
Yeah.
right now it seems like a really strong tool, and the reward that Ryu gets out of it is a lot higher than he really should.
Yeah, and people were saying they're like, "Oh, this is why they nerfed Ryu so hard because now he's got his unblockable setup back." But they took it out, so people will be complaining again. Oh, it's beautiful. What else about Ryu's nerfs that I didn't like? I really don't like the fact that his anti-airs have to be deeply timed. So his DPs have to be really close to the opponent to do the full damage. Otherwise, it'll do a flat 60. That really bugs me.
I really like.
I don't like that.
You should be doing good damage on them.
Yeah, man. Why should the person who's anti-airing be punished for timing? The opponent jumped. Like, he should eat that for sure. The full damage.
Should hold that.
Especially, yeah, he's got to hold that. Especially since Ryu has to use his medium punch version of his uppercut too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. They should definitely not be lowering damage on anti-airs. They should always be strong. You should always punish your opponent hard if he wants to jump for free.
The way you can balance it out, rather than like mash reversal on the ground, it's like if you hit them as an anti-air, like while they're in the air, they take more damage.
Yeah.
Right? And then if they were grounded, that would be a nice balancing aspect.
And that'd be a good buff to Ryu standing hard punch then, because if you get a crush counter with that, they're in midair and you could uppercut and do a lot more damage. That'd be pretty sick. Do they have anything like any anime fighters about getting hit in the air? Any type of bonuses? Do you know of? I'm just wondering.
Depends if they get counter hit or not. Like if they get counter hit,
they float.
No, maybe not like float maybe, or they have extended untechable time, so you get some really fat combos off of that.
Yeah. Huh. So yeah, just the anti-airs, like, you use normal attacks because they're fast and they're
just one button, right?
Yeah, it's just one button, and then if your hands are fast enough to use a special attack, you should reward more damage. You get meter, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should always be. Yeah, if there's anything that I didn't want them to lower damage on, it's definitely anti-air attacks.
Yeah.
Ryu's fireball still seem to be pretty punishable, but you can still zone. You just gotta be really careful with it.
You gotta space them out properly.
You gotta use Ryu's fireballs as like a footsie tool.
Footsie tool, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta like stand in the range of the opponent's normals and you walk back just slightly and then you throw out a fireball and you take out their normals that way. That's how I feel you should use his projectile. But if you just start throwing them out blindly, man, you eat one jump in combo, man, you're toast. For sure. I still want him to have a hurricane kick that hits a crouching opponent. I still feel like it's awkward when you hit a crouching opponent with Ryu. I feel like your options are pretty limited.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, I don't see that as, like, game-breaking for Ryu or anything like that, so. But overall, we'll see how Ryu ends up but he still seems like he's in a good place, even after all these insane amount of nerfs that he got.
He's strong in this build. Like
He does a lot of damage, man.
The sweep has an extended range on it. That's a really good buff for him.
You sure that's not a placebo?
It could be a placebo, but it looked like the sweep had more range. I don't know. It's just really good. Plus the hard knockdown properties off crush counter sweep. Like the system changes and stuff like that. Ryu is like really strong in this build, in Phase 3 build.
Okay, let's move on to another character. You pick a character this time. I'll write this down so we can keep track of who we talk about.
Let's go with Necalli.
Necalli. Okay. Have you played any Necalli?
No.
I didn't play any Necalli in this beta phase. I do know that he can charge in V-Trigger, his charge attack, Berserker Slash, where you charge back and forward punch. You don't have to charge in combo, which is really weird. So if you're doing a combo...
I don't know, it's kind of like a Bison, right? Bison's V-Trigger. In combo, you don't need to do it.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it's consistent with that. It is a weird mechanic.
It is a weird mechanic, man.
But it's in line with Bison's.
They definitely wanted to do that because they wanted, when Necalli activates V-Trigger, they want him to go full rush down, you know?
Yeah.
They definitely didn't want people to be discouraged and go down back mode, right?
Yeah.
So full rush down mode for sure. I played against some good Necalli players, like PR Balrog in particular, was just destroyed me with fucking meaties and frame traps. Last off, you and me rated Necalli a C, like he was one of the weaker characters.
Yeah.
Because he's inherently weak.
Yeah.
I still feel like he's weaker than a lot of characters still. But he is a good character. Overall.
He's a character that, given enough time, maybe he fluctuates in a tier listing. That's the way I see Necalli.
I still agree with you, like with the part where like V-Trigger is a very important part of that character's play.
Yeah.
You know, like he actually is weaker before he activates V-Trigger.
Yeah.
So like the tier list kind of changes dynamically once he activates. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I don't know. He's kind of like what's his name from Marvel 3, the lawyer.
Oh, Phoenix Wright? Once he gets turnabout mode?
Once he activates, he's just this fucking crazy character that points at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Necalli's still good. You know, he still has an invincible anti-air.
Yeah, he's a solid character.
Command
this is
grab
a
range
character
is
that
still
gave me a lot of
ass.
problems, actually. This is a character that gave me a lot of problems.
Oh,
as a
really?
Nash. Yeah. I had a very bad track record fighting Necalli with Nash.
Well,
I don't
was
know.
he like? Are you having troubles when Necalli does his jumping hard punch, man? Because that fucking hitbox is crazy. It's a vertical like down. It reminds me of Honda's jumping medium punch.
Oh yeah. Not
You know
that
what I mean?
one. His cross up's pretty good. His like up close game is really strong, I feel. It's just like there's just like very few options once he's in. It's like very hard to get him off me as Nash, and so it's like you try to play this neutral game, but it's like I don't know. He just has ways around it. Like I don't know. It's like I'm not used to fighting the character, but he's the one character that gave me a lot of problems.
Okay. He just, because every hit he does on you does so much damage.
A lot of damage.
And you're really scared to press buttons on him because he does strings that have intentional holes in them. Any kind of normal into a stomp, it's really hard to squeeze something through, especially if you don't have an invincible reversal. And if you press a button, man, it's just going to lead into crazier damage, you know. I think he has a stomp now that re-snags you. But I wasn't able to test it out. I'm trying to look at the frame data right now for Necalli. See any changes on his stomps, if any of them were more plus than they were before. But his stomps, it's still light kick version is -4, medium kick is -2, his hard kick stomp is 0, and his EX stomp is -2. So
does that change once he's in V-Trigger though?
Actually that's a good question. I have the V-Trigger. V-Trigger, it's -3, -1, 2, -2. So it's pretty much the same. It's just his light kick is -3 instead of -4. And his medium is -1 instead of -2. So for the most part, they're pretty safe.
Yep.
Safe-ish. But yeah, Necalli, he's just a bully, man.
Yeah.
He's just a bully. He wants to get close, and he wants to bully you with stomps and and makes it really tempting for the opponent to get nervous and press a button, and then he'll get destroyed for it. He's hard to approach, especially since he has an invincible anti-air that can use the hard punch version of it, so you eat a lot of damage. His command throw range is still ass, but his dash is so good you can use it like Vega, where you dash forward and go into your command grab.
Yeah.
So against Necalli, you really want to, when you're standing in sweep range with him, you want to throw out lights every now and then just to stop the opponent from dashing in blindly at you and going for unknowing command grabs. Necalli's jump is okay. I see a lot of stayings with Necalli, the neutral jump shit. And his super is really good too. If you use using his super raw, it's one of the better supers where you can punish a lot of things. Goes through fireballs and just use as a long range punish. It's quite good. And Necalli's V skill, I don't see people using it enough, but it builds his V gauge really, really fast. I feel like it's a really important part of his gameplay. I'm pretty sure they nerfed something with Necalli where he can't link into his standing medium kick, something like that.
Yeah. You can't go stand medium kick, crouch strong anymore. He lost a couple of his links.
Yeah, there was one really easy hit confirm into his target combo, which gave him really good V gauge and knockdown and meter. In terms of crazy buffs, though, I'm not too sure, guys. To be honest, I didn't really look at his character closely since I didn't play him. But Necalli still looks strong, and he's still a great character that I would recommend to somebody just starting the game, because I feel like he's very simple, very, very simple character. Anything else you want to talk about Necalli?
Not really.
Okay, so you said Necalli. I'm going to say, let's talk about Vega.
Yes.
And when I say let's, I'm saying you.
Okay.
Well, just tell me his general playstyle right now you feel, the meta with Vega.
Vega, I think they buffed claw mode quite a bit, mostly because his forward fierce got buffed significantly. It used to be really slow.
Okay. The recovery or the startup?
The startup is slow. Now the startup is really fast, and it's also his new crush counter.
Beast.
It's really good. It's an extremely good poke. It's insane. I felt like the crouch fierce as an anti-air was a little bit more consistent, but that could just be in my imagination here. Yeah, so they removed a couple of his links. I think they also made stand fierce into stance change, more minus on block, which kind of sucks, but I don't know, he's just still really solid. Most important one, though, the most important buff is that his V-trigger now hits crouching characters.
And I know it used to annoy the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah,
when you
man.
combo with the V-trigger and it whiff.
Yeah, because it's really hard, because you're trying to play the footsie game, you get that poke, and then you just want to confirm into your V-trigger right away. Because you can't late cancel his normals into the V-trigger. So it's as soon as you see the normal hit, you just cancel into the V-trigger without really verifying whether they're standing or crouching. And if they're crouching, it just always whiffs, and then you're punished for it, right? So now that it hits crouching, it's consistent. It's very consistent, and it's huge, good damage. And if you have the meter, you get a super afterwards. So it's really good comeback factor for Vega if he has the meter for it. I think they made his rolling crystal flash a little bit more minus on block. That's okay. Can't abuse it. Shouldn't be plus on block anyways.
A lot of people thought that it was safe on block, but it's actually...
It's not. The light ones are really punishable.
Yeah, I think
it's at least -5. Could be worse, actually, but it's at least -5. I know Nash can at least do a stand jab into Sonic Scythe to punish Vega consistently on that, so yeah. What else do they give him? Stand roundhouse crush counter. I don't know if they changed the property on this, but
okay.
Maybe I just didn't play around with it, but I know I just found more damage off of a crush counter on it, because it's stand roundhouse, crush counter, stand fierce, stance change, crouch, medium punch into EX wall dive, and then V trigger or something like that. So it's lots of damage when you do it. What else does he get?
I'm looking at the frame data right now, and Vega's core circle forward kick, his Crimson Terror.
Yeah,
It's the light kick version is -6.
yeah, that sounds like
Like that's hella
it's
punishable.
really bad,
Yeah, it goes
really bad.
-6, -7, -8. The EX
Shouldn't,
is only -2 though, surprisingly.
yeah, I think it used to be plus. I'm not sure though. In phase two,
Okay.
I think if you're looking at Gilly's Excel sheet, he has the phase two data
hmm
on there, so just
I
double
am
check.
looking at his sheet. Uh, well, so how do you feel about claw versus no claw, bare hand?
Uh,
Do you feel
you
like
know
it's
what?
balanced, more balanced now?
I think it's for the most part balanced. Like it's really to the point where it's personal preference on the player.
Mm-hmm.
Like Graham Wolf, every time he played, like started the round, he'd like take the claw every
Mm-hmm.
time because he just wanted the special cancel properties and stuff. He felt like from a pressuring standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
claw off was better.
Like you think it like suited his playstyle better?
I think it suited his playstyle better. But personally, me personally, I prefer to play the I prefer to play with the claw on initially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the range that he gets off of his pokes, and I'll always play that footsie game in the initial start of the match.
Mm-hmm.
There's a matchup perspective where maybe you want to start off with claw off, but like, granted, I don't play with claw off too often, and I just prefer the claw on initially.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when I get used to claw off more and more comfortable with its ranges, I'll probably play with that more
Mm-hmm.
often.
So what was that up with the wall dive, like falling faster? Did you figure that out?
Yeah, so if you hold down, like when he does only on the EX version, when you hold down and punch, so your dart you're actually holding down on the joystick down and then you're pushing punch, it
Mm-hmm.
actually falls faster.
After he jumps off the wall?
Yeah, after he jumps off the
Is
wall.
it really noticeable?
It is significantly faster.
So you think that move is more practical to do, like
I
randomly?
think it's great in the corner, mid screen, no.
Okay.
In the corner, it's really good
Mm-hmm.
because like you basically do it after a knockdown, and then you do the EX wall dive, and then you
Mm-hmm.
do the fast fall, and then you can make it ambiguous left right.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now the balancing factor is like depending on the knockdown, right? It's up to the opponent to quick tech back, quick tech neutral, not quick tech, and it throws
Of
off your
course.
timing on when to do this EX wall dive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a guaranteed setup, but there are some sort mix-ups you can get off of it because like you do it close to the wall, it's like really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do core circle, sorry, DP, he goes to the wall closest to him, like forward.
Mm-hmm.
No, I shouldn't say closest. He goes forward. He goes off the wall forward.
Mm-hmm.
You do reverse DP and the button, he actually goes jumps off the back wall instead.
Yeah, you can choose the direction
Yeah.
that he goes.
So you want to do it in the corner, like when you have them in the corner, and you do the forward version so that he jumps off the wall faster, right? And then you do the fast fall version of it, and it's just really fast. Makes it really ambiguous, not somewhat ambiguous.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Capcom like keeping it that Vega is no longer a charge character? Like they're sticking with it now.
I love it because I hate using charge characters.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, if Vega was a charge character, I would not use him in SF5.
Okay.
It's the fact that he is not a charge character that I can use Vega in SF5.
We got kind of a
There's,
charge character crisis going on in Street Fighter V. There's very few characters that are full charge characters.
well, it's just two basically, Bison and Fang at
But
this
we don't know if he's a hybrid, right?
yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Vega. I think Vega is just amazing in this game. He's really strong.
Well, back to your original question.
Hmm.
My original question, sorry. His playstyle, you say, is a footsie-based playstyle?
Yeah,
Okay. And even with claw off, you can play footsies with him?
yeah. His crouch medium punch is really good. Crouch strong is really good. Good
Mm-hmm.
range on it. Obviously, he has significantly decreased range with
Mm-hmm.
the claw.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still play a footsie game, and he's got the amazing walk speed
Mm-hmm.
to back that up. But yeah, obviously, he is meant to be more of a rush down character once the claw comes off.
Yeah. So you feel like he's really strong just because he's got such excellent normals and range
Excellent
and
normals,
speed.
great, yeah, great walk speed, great damage output, great comeback factor,
Mm-hmm.
solid anti-airs now. That was his biggest weakness in SF4 is he couldn't stop jumping people.
Mm-hmm.
So like Now he's got that variety of anti-airs like Crouch Fierce.
And he's no longer a charge character.
Yeah, and he's no longer charged. They don't have that initial weakness too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that Crouch Fierce is no longer a crush counter.
Okay.
They replaced it with his Forward Fierce.
Was that a good swap?
I think it was a really good one. I think
Okay.
it's good. Because you're gonna fish for it more because it's faster startup now, so you're gonna fish for it more. You probably land it more. I guess the only downside is like Crouch Fierce anti-air as a counter hit being crush counter is like really strong.
Mm-hmm.
But like I found that the I don't know, the hitbox was like inconsistent in phase 2. I felt like in phase 3 I could do it more consistently. But maybe I just got used to the spacing and timing of it. But I also love like Vega's air throw. You can do it as a reactionary anti-air. It's amazing. Like I'm also used to a lot of games where like fighting games where air throw is one of your best anti-air options, like Guilty Gear for example. So like for me, using Vega's air throw as a reactionary anti-air is like second nature to me.
Okay.
But I'd air throw fools on reaction every time.
Fools. Yeah.
Dude, like they try to it's like perfect in that cross up situation where they want to go for the cross up. Like you recognize it and you just toss them out of the air.
Shit.
So good.
What do you do when you crush counter with forward hard punch with Vega?
Sweep? No, you can do sweep, but it's inconsistent depending on the range. You're better off just doing another forward fierce, or if you have V trigger, you can go like forward fierce, V trigger.
Oh wow! Can you go forward fierce into EX wall dive?
No, I tried that. It doesn't work. Not enough. Too much recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crimson Terror EX version is +2 on the last version. So
I knew it. Yeah, it was plus. Okay.
What were you gonna say?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ready to move on to the next character?
Yeah.
Oh, where's my notes? Shit. Okay, I wrote down Vega.
Okay, so you pick Vega. Let me pick Chun-Li.
Chun-Li, definitely a character I was hating on initially since E3.
Yeah.
I felt like she was weak, but
now she's really good.
Now she's really good. Really, really good.
Really good.
Like, she's got an excellent toolset, and her V trigger is always really good. Opens up a lot of doors. They did nerf some of her insane combos that she had in V trigger. Like, she had some beastly ones.
Yeah.
Especially with that crouching hard punch. Chun-Li's crouching hard punch used to be able to cancel an EX or super after the second hit of it, which made her just do some insane damage output combos. They took that out. But she still has the right tools. They changed her V skill in this version. She now goes like way, I don't know how to word it, but more of a 45 degree angle upwards. You know, she doesn't go as
horizontal.
Yeah, like she goes more straight up. So it's much easier to use Chun-Li's V skill against projectiles to get towards the opponent faster. But it makes some of her combos a little wonky. It's a little harder to combo into her V skill because you're so much higher than the opponent when you're hitting with the head stomps that sometimes they're too low to link into the EX legs. Like it makes some really awkward things, especially when some people like to do when they have V trigger activated head stomps into some normal attacks too. But she's so much higher up now because of it. Gonna have to experiment with her more. But Chun-Li is really fun now. Ever since phase 2. I hated on her so much, so I'm like, I'm gonna try using her and find out what's good about her. And then the more I used her, the more fun she is, and I feel like she's definitely one of my main characters that I like playing. One of the better characters, like I would say, Chun-Li and Ryu would be like my highest win rate characters that I use. Chun-Li is really fun. They nerfed her standing medium punch into forward medium punch. Like that doesn't link anymore. That kind of bugs me too. Because standing medium punch is just. The range of that normal is ass, Like, if your opponent gets hit by that, what's wrong with getting hit by forward medium punch after,
I think they were worried about it in V trigger, because then it's like 3 hits, or 2 hits, 2 hits.
Yeah.
Right?
But then you still get the scaling, like, I don't
know.
Chun-Li is there's some gimmicks with her. Her EX lightning legs is safe on block. In fact, I think she's like +1 on it. I'll check it in a second. What else did they change with her that was really weird? Her back hard punch crush counter now knocks the opponent up in the air.
That thing is so good though, and you juggle like legs or EX legs.
Yeah.
So much damage.
Yeah, you can definitely hit confirm into EX legs. It's fast enough to hit confirm or into super. And to normal legs, I think you gotta buffer it because it's just not fast enough. You use the hard kick version. For some reason, Chun-Li still has the instant air lightning legs.
Oh, it's like, is that plus? I swear it's plus, man. That thing is
It's
so good.
really strong.
It's really
I
strong.
just know how to do the motion, but I didn't really see it used in combos and stuff. And I see some really good Chun-Li players using it to literally go over fireballs and actually punish the opponent with it, and then follow up with a crouching light punch into combo.
I've seen
And
Chun
it
use
looks
it for pressure.
so strong. And I
Like
didn't even
they
use
use it
that.
for pressure, and it's insane. It
Yeah,
looks
I
insane.
can't believe Capcom hasn't taken that out yet, especially since it's so fun. But I'm just looking for her EX lightning legs. It is. Oh, it says it's -3
Really?
now. Yeah, it says it's -3.
She's
Doesn't feel
mostly
like
safe.
-3, man.
She's safe for sure, though.
Yeah, yeah. Like people will do EX lightning legs on you, you block it, then she'll suddenly do EX spinning bird kick, and you'll get hit by it. Shit's annoying.
Yeah.
Her back hard kick is kind of wonky. I see it trading a lot. They definitely changed the hitbox on it, so that's kind of annoying. I had to use standing light kick as an anti-air, and you know how I hate anti-airs that do low damage.
But
Fucking
at
standing
least
light
with
kick.
stand light kick, you can go dash under for that
You can.
reset.
You definitely can. And then try to set up a meaty. Chun-Li definitely has one of the best crush counters in the game with back hard punch. Just the
Amazing.
speed of that normal is just so good as a crush counter for sure.
Very fun character.
Yeah, Chun-Li's very fun.
Strong character too. Very
Hybrid
strong.
charge character. Chun-Li's in a good spot right now, man. She really is. Good comeback factor.
Very
Good
feels very
super.
complete in my opinion. Very
Yeah.
complete.
Chun-Li has gone a long way, man. Especially if you look at the alpha, beta footage
Yeah.
from the beginning. She's definitely come a long way. More than Ryu. I'd say she's been so drastically changed time by time. Capcom was definitely testing a whole bunch of things with her. For sure. What else can I talk about Chun-Li? Just like I said, just figuring out. You really gotta understand every individual normal attack with Chun-Li. Oh, one thing I could talk about is she still is one of the characters, if not the only character that remains that can link a light to a medium, which is another really weird thing that Capcom has not taken out. So Chun-Li can still do crouching light punch into standing medium punch, into crouching medium kick, into hard kick version of her lightning legs. What do you think about that, Killy? Like,
I
you think
think she
that's
needed it.
fair?
I think she needed it.
You think she needs it?
Yeah, I think she needs it.
Okay.
Because
Um.
like the range on her stand strong and crouch medium kick are kind of small, and
Mhm.
like even her crouch jab has low range to it. So
Okay.
like she can confirm into it. Like I think that's a fair enough. She doesn't do much damage
Mhm.
without V trigger and meter and stuff like that. So having this confirm, I think, is okay.
Mhm.
Like she's not gonna land it too often anyways when she's mostly poking you with her other pokes.
Mhm. One thing they kind of nerfed with was her forward hard kick. She gets stuffed by like low normals and stuff. It's weird. It's like she's not airborne or something.
I think it was meant to crush throws, like throw bait.
Yeah. Yeah. I still
Uh,
use it as a meaty, but
yeah,
doing something like crouching light into it, like I get stuffed a lot from it, which was really annoying from the the crouch light punch madness
yeah.
going on, right? But using it as a meaty, it's definitely good, and you could link a full combo afterward. But that's one thing I definitely noticed changed with her.
hmm
Like I said, back to her V skill. I'm still debating which V skill I liked better. I like that she can get through fireballs much easier with this new V skill, but the trajectory is just really weird to me right now.
Probably not used to it yet.
Yeah, I'm probably just not used to it yet. She still has her good like head stomp shenanigans still work, especially on big characters like Zangief and Birdie. Chun-Li is she's just in a good spot, man. She feels really complete. Like so far, I think Capcom did a good job with her. She's come a long way, man, from a character that I used to think really sucked,
hmm
and now she's just like one of my mains. Yeah, Chun-Li will definitely be one of the first characters that I'll try climbing the rank list when the game comes out.
hmm
But yeah, that's all I can say with Chun-Li, honestly.
All right.
Okay, so next character, let's talk about Ken.
Oh no.
Oh
What did they
no.
What did they do to Ken?
Well, Ken could be summarized with like one sentence. Where it was really funny because Ken was available on a testing. There was like an online test, real quick test. It only lasted like 4 hours
hmm
before the official Phase 3 beta, and Ken was available. So I was messing around with Ken, and I'm like, what the hell? Nothing he had before works. So I go on the Shuriken forums, to check it out with Ken, what they're discovering, and the only thing that was posted was, "What the fuck did they do with Ken?" I was just laughing so hard, man. It's funny. It feels like Ken got the Ryu treatment. He got bopped over the head, like boonk. You know what I mean? Because Ryu got it hard, but Ken got it pretty hard too. I'm not a Ken player. Just keep that in mind, guys. So if there's something I'm missing, please correct me. But from what I understand, Ken lost. First thing he lost was a lot of his juggles from his DP were taken out. You can still juggle, shuriken to shuriken, but you gotta make sure the opponent's really high up in the air to juggle it. Before, they could be like really low to the ground, and an EX or a hard punch version will juggle them quite easily, but a lot of those have been taken out from the game. Like you activate V-trigger, you do your target combo into medium, shuriken into EX, like that won't work anymore. A lot of those types of juggles.
What about his light Tatsu in V-trigger into like Fierce or EX?
That still works.
Still works? Okay.
Yeah, that still works. His standing hard kick crush counter now knocks the opponent up in the air.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
So a lot of people are pissed off about that. My buddy Qual actually liked that change because it's much more easier to hit to confirm it. Like if you do a random stray hard kick, then you can juggle it with a shuriken.
Yeah.
But that's not the way people used it. They used it as kind of like a fishing tool where they'll do if they have V trigger. That's like the main normal they're going to use to convert into. Where you go standing hard kick, V-trigger into full combo kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can't do that anymore because they're airborne, right?
Yeah.
So that was a nerf, I think. What else did they change? Some of his normals push back more, so he can't do certain like strings, like light strings into Tatsu, for example. Like you can't do crouching light kick, crouching light punch, standing light kick into something like Ryu could. You'll be pushed out of range and your standing light kick will whiff. His V skill speed is hella slow now.
Yeah,
it gets really, really slow now. I still get thrown like a bitch, like crazy online from it. But for example, if you do like one thing I like to do online is you do a crouching hard punch, and then you buffer that into V skill, and then you'll run behind the opponent and do a really quick cross up, right? It's so slow now the opponent always blocks it. It's just really It's really noticeable, really obvious. So they kind of changed that, and what else did they change? I think they took out his crouching medium punch link into SRK, and I'm probably forgetting something else. But Ken, like I said, Ken, you got a lot of nerfs for sure. People think that they over nerfed him. They feel like he's one of the weaker characters in the game now. But like I said, I am not a Ken player, so I was trying to look for streams with decent Ken players to see what they're kind of doing with him. I tweeted Maximilian. I said I was going to watch some of his stream, but he didn't look like he played any Ken at all.
Played a little bit in the beginning, and he really hated what they did with Ken. He said it's like not even fun to use Ken for him anymore.
Really? Because Maximilian's a huge
Ken fan.
So
yeah.
I figured like he would be on top of it. He'd be like high spirits. Don't worry, guys, we'll figure out what to fix with him. So I don't know anyone else who really like goes hardcore in 10. I know Julio was playing some Ken at the end of the stream. But it just looks like Julio was just playing them like Ryu. And that's how I played him too, and I got destroyed for it. You can't play Ken like Ryu.
No, you got to be rushed down with Ken.
Rush down seems to be the way. Ken's got different tools than Ryu's got a lot more overheads, and his air EX Tatsu is quite good at getting in on the opponent. He's really tricky because his V trigger, you can't just use it raw or you're gonna get blown up. His V trigger is a huge part of his gameplay, and he really does have much better tools when his V trigger is activated. It's just that he has 3 bars of V gauge.
Mm-hmm.
So Ken, I would say, is in a tough spot right now. Maybe someone can show me the light, and if you guys can link me a person who's actually quite good with Ken, who doesn't play him like Ryu, who actually is playing Ken as Ken, let me know, man, because I would like to see what the stuff that people have come up with Ken. Maybe he's not as nerfed as hard as we feel, but just from the general, what I'm getting, the feedback is that he is quite nerfed and feels quite weak as a character right now. More so than the other characters, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to talk about, Ken?
Nope.
Okay. Hit me with the character.
So you pick Ken. Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about Birdie.
Birdie. Oh, boy. So Birdie was definitely an eye-opener for me. I always felt Birdie was a strong character. What did we give him in our tier list? B+, I think it was.
Something like that.
Yeah. we always felt like he's a strong character, but we felt like he would definitely have some bad matchups for sure, just the way his character is designed. But damn, Birdie looks strong. They gave him some really good buffs this beta. The walk speed on V-Trigger, every special move fucking V-Trigger cancels into combo. You know, I do Bullhorn, V-Trigger, you get hit by the Chili Pepper, and you get a headbutt. You know, it does so much damage. You know, even you and me played a match, and I was doing the EX.
Did that, and I got hit by that EX.
Seriously, it took off like 20% of your health. It was insane.
Oh my god, I better not lose.
Yeah, it takes off 20% of your health, and I got my entire V-Trigger ready to rock and roll, you know. Yeah. Birdie can use his donuts now and keep his V-Trigger up all the time.
Oh yeah, that's such a cool buff. Yeah. I love it.
His normals are still as insane as ever.
Man. Crouch Fierce special cancel?
You can do some serious punishes. You can go crouching hard punch into Bullhorn, into V-Trigger, into Bullhead. Like, come on.
And I know
you're dead. You're dead.
Crouch Fierce into the anti-air chain.
Yeah.
And then that combos, which is sick.
Yeah. Birdie just has...
That EX wall, that EX command grab jump thing. So fast now.
Yeah. Where Birdie does his EX jump grab, where he swan dives towards you. The speed is much faster, and the hitbox detection is much better. I remember when we were talking about E3, that was tied with Nash's EX moonsault as seriously the worst move in the game. It was terrible. I even went to Peter and asked him, like, what is this move used for? Like, seriously, it's so bad. But Birdie is just buffs like everywhere. But they did nerf some things, like Birdie's standing hard punch, no longer a crush counter, and it's one of his main normals that you throw out because it's such long range. But his forward hard punch now is a crush counter again. So it wasn't a crush counter, or it was a crush counter at first. They nerfed it, took it out, and now they put it back in. But the crush counter now knocks the opponent up in the air.
Just fine, I think.
Which is fine, because honestly, when you crush counter with Birdie, you can't get much off of it anyways. Really, you can't. You can just do another bullhead or another hard punch. But so now Birdie has his armored crush counter attack back. You know,
pretty good.
Birdie's just beast, man. Birdie did have some insane hit confirm bread and butters in phase 2, where Birdie can go standing light kick into standing medium punch that linked. They took that out, so he can't do that anymore. He was also able to do standing medium punch into standing light punch into bullhead. They also took that out, unless my timing's really bad. But I tried doing it a million times. It didn't work. No, you can go standing medium punch into light kick, but then the bullhead won't combo because they're just too far, I think. I didn't test it in V-Trigger, though. That might be different. But Birdie's comeback factor is just fucking insane. Birdie's anti-air crouching medium punch is still as beastly as ever. It literally hits behind his head, man.
Oh, God. It's so good as an anti-air, and then gives him a free meaty setup.
Yeah, so when Birdie does it, he recovers so fast that the opponent flips up and is basically reset in the air. And as he lands, you can do a really dumb setup where you can do a meaty standing hard kick. So if he presses any buttons, tries to throw you or whatever, it's a crush counter into death. Or you could just do EX grab if they don't press anything. So if you don't want to jump in on Birdie at the wrong time, man, you're going to be put into a really bad situation, you know? And, I really like the changes of Birdie. They did nerf some things, but they were definitely warranted. But overall, Birdie is awesome, man. And like I said, he was a real eye-opener because I played some amazing players with Birdie. Like, players that are really taking that character to the next level. I played against Ratana and Pavocado.
Yeah, Pavocado.
It's not avocado. It's Pavocado.
Pavocado.
Both these players I played constantly on the stream. Really, really good. The Birdies were just amazing. Especially Ratana, man. He had setups for everything. It seemed like every time he hit me with something, he already knew what he was going to do next. Like, his set play was out of control. Definitely utilizing the banana peel properly. If you slip on it, you eat a medium punch. He used the crouching light punch properly to get him off, and a lot of buffered normals into the jump grab, which was hella annoying. Birdie's a fucking beast in this game, man.
Yep, really strong.
He's a beast, man. He's such a good character. I feel like he's pretty easy to play, but I feel like someone really good with him will take him to the next level. Birdie's just hella strong. He definitely feels like the Super Street Fighter 4 Honda of the game. You know, he's just, oh man, he's just so good. So much comeback factor. Anything else you want to talk about Birdie?
Nope.
Just know if you guys are a Birdie fan, like Birdie is just in such a good spot right now as a character. Okay. Next character. Let's talk about your boy.
My boy Nash.
Your boy. Let's talk about your boy. You
My
played
boy-
a lot of good players with him, hey?
Yeah.
Played against Justin Wong.
Yeah.
Played against Who else did you play against?
Africroll.
Yeah.
Lamer Boy. F Champ. Who else? A lot of.
So let's go back in time a little bit here, and E3. You know, everyone felt Nash was weak, but he's just such a popular character. You know, we had an entire play machine where all you guys were playing Nash against each other. It was ridiculous. And then and then you and me couldn't play the game for a really long time after E3 when we're in LA.
Yeah.
We had to wait for the beta phase, and it was just we're hearing all these rumors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster ride of nerfs and buff rumors, and after this entire journey to phase 3, like, where do you feel like Nash is now, like, as a character?
Oh, he's a beast in phase 3. Really, really strong character. But I also feel it's probably in part due to how explored this character is in comparison to the rest of the cast.
Because he's such a popular character.
Very popular character. A lot of top players also use him, so I feel like the meta for Nash gets developed faster.
Okay.
And so he just seems really, really strong. Like his normals are strong, his damage is strong, conversions are good. Like it feels like any little hit with Nash and you convert into good damage, into a knockdown. And then there's some there's some meaty setups afterwards. They did nerf some things, like a lot of the phase 2 buffs that he received are gone.
Okay.
So stand forward is not special cancelable anymore.
Which is weird. Why would they change that?
You can get, because you use it as an anti-air, and then you can go like meaty boom or meaty moonsault.
Okay.
So you can't do that anymore. You still do it with crouch strong though. There's more pushback on his jab, which is actually a big problem. You have to adapt to it, but this means that he can't go low short into stand jab into the target combo of stand medium punch.
Okay.
Because the stand jab has too much pushback on it now, on hit and blocks, that it no longer combos.
Okay.
It actually makes you know how you go stand short forward target combo into the stand jab strong target combo?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work anymore because of the pushback.
Oh.
So that doesn't work.
That's a big change.
Also, like when you do moonsault, like moonsault's +1 on block, so you can go like jab strong target combo afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on your spacing and stuff like that, the pushback might be too great that doesn't combo or it doesn't form a block string. If you do it, if it's close enough, it will still combo or it will still form a block string, but your spacing dependent is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Your spacing with it is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Light moonsault, if it's done up close, it actually doesn't keep Nash on the same side. It actually like whiffs on the other side. So you have to have the right spacing when you do moonsault to stay in front. Otherwise, you might end up whiffing behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the reason they did this is because like you could loop that block string. So you go like jab strong target combo into moonsault, and then because you're +1, it's very hard to push buttons on Nash if you don't have a good reversal. So then he just loop it and go jab strong moonsault, jab strong moonsault, jab strong moonsault. And like you can hit him out of the moonsault, but like
that's the gap. That's the key.
That's the gap right there. So it's like sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
To react to it properly because you could do something else.
Uh-huh.
And so I think they got rid of that for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Which is understandable. That's fair.
Bazooka light kick, man. Fuck.
Yeah, that got nerfed actually. Okay, so
God,
it
was annoying.
It was really good in phase 2 because it was -1 on block and +1 on hit. So it was pretty nuts.
That's fucking crazy.
Now it's -1 on block. No, -1 on hit -5 on block.
Oh, okay.
But if you space it out max range, he's probably like neutral or plus.
Mm-hmm.
I know on hit he'd be like at max range or meaty, it'd be plus, and you can actually combo out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But
see.
you have to be
-1 on hit, -5 on block.
so you have to be really careful if you're spacing up Zucchini.
Yeah, which is his forward light kick, by the way, in case you guys don't know.
Yeah. Roundhouse Sonic Scythe doesn't launch as high. So in the corner, you could do like Roundhouse Sonic Scythe for Bazooka Knee and it would juggle, or Roundhouse Sonic Scythe, EX Sonic Scythe,
Yeah.
and it juggled in the corner. Gave him like huge damage output.
Oh, and
good
bad
resets.
mix-up, yeah.
Yeah. They took that out,
Oh,
which is fair.
okay.
It was really strong.
Mm-hmm.
What else did they take away? I think that like sums up most of what they took away from Phase 2. Bazooka Knee it looks like it has a better hitbox above, so you can
Okay.
actually use it as a situational anti-air at farther ranges.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing your Sonic Boom zoning from like full screen or whatever, and they jump over, you can actually like Bazooka Knee and anti-air them.
Do you think Phase 3 is like the best Nash has ever been, or was that Phase 2?
I think Phase 2 is the best Nash.
This is peak, but Phase 3 is like the fairest. I
The
guess.
Phase 3 is the fairest, but he's really strong. I
Yeah.
still think he's extremely strong. I think they were buffed to some of his normals on counter hit or something like that.
Mhm.
It felt like on counter hit, it's a lot easier to combo off of a lot of his command normals. Like
Okay.
I remember if I got like counter hit meaty forward roundhouse, I couldn't really combo off of it. At least
Mhm.
like don't recall being able to combo off of it in Phase 2. In Phase 3 though, on counter hit I can go it's like brain dead hit confirm into low jab into Sonic Scythe.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. So I had like some meaty setups that led into that.
Mm-hmm.
I know F-Champ and Infiltration like to use meaty moonsaults
Okay.
after like Sonic Scythe knockdowns and stuff like that. But no, like in general, like Nash is just so beastly in Phase 3. Like really strong character.
So what is like Nash's like game plan? Like, what's his play style? Is he a zoner?
He can play. I think he's like one of the more versatile characters. Like initially, he was designed as a rushdown character. I think they nerfed some of his rushdown tools,
Mm-hmm.
but I think he can still play a rushdown game. But his zoning is strong, just because his normals are so good. Like holy crap, his normals are amazing now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's like really effective as a zoning footsie based character with
Mhm.
small burst of offense.
You know, it's
Like,
really crazy because Nash is a character that has like charge character normals, and he's not a charge character himself. You know, he's so powerful now.
yeah, I think Justin puts it as like he's the poison. He's like poison.
Okay, that's a
Uh,
good comparison because of the slow projectile and yeah, I
yeah,
see.
the recovery on his and stuff like that, and his normals just makes him really hard to deal with. Plus,
Mhm.
like his V trigger is just nuts. Like
I still
I,
see
I
a lot of
love
players using it properly, like the average players or below average players not using it properly.
I love his forward fears.
Hmm.
It's such an amazing tool, and like it annoys everyone,
It annoys me big time.
including Justin.
It's such an annoying normal, man.
So like it's his crush counter.
Hmm.
So if you hit him with it, um, you can actually go right into his tragedy assault
Oh, and just
and
grab him.
steal meter.
Did they change anything? Is that still not an overhead at all?
No, it's still not an overhead. The one buff that's really good that I didn't really test in Phase 3, but in Phase 2, basically in Phase 1, if you kill someone with Tragedy Assault, like Tragedy Assault does 2 hits, right? Like the first initial hit and then the second hit
That's
on
the move where Nash jumps and grabs your face, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
slams you to the ground. In Phase 1, if you killed someone with it, if it killed on the first hit, the second hit wouldn't drain meter because you're already post KO.
Okay.
In Phase 2, what they changed is that it wouldn't give you the KO screen until the last hit.
Okay.
So you would always drain the meter
Hmm.
on a KO. And I think they probably kept that in Phase 3, but I forgot to test it.
Okay.
But like Tragedy Assault, there's good uses for Tragedy. Like the fact that forward fierce crush counters as a crumple and stuff like that. Like you want to go straight into Tragedy Assault. and just drain the meter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, EX Tragedy Assault doesn't drain meter anymore. It only gives you life back, but it doesn't drain super meter anymore.
So the normal one drains super meter, and the EX one drains life.
Yeah.
Do the normal ones drain life and super meter?
Normal ones just drain super meter.
Okay.
Does not drain life. Like it'll do damage, but it doesn't regen life.
And which version goes through projectiles?
All of them do.
All of them do, including the EX.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've seen that.
But it's not like you go through the firewall. You actually go above the firewall.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, that's how he avoids it. But really, what you want to do for fireballs, besides V skill, is his EX Moonsault Slash. You can now like reactionary do it against fireballs, and it'll punish it, and you get
Really?
like good combo confirm after.
Yeah, just like Birdie's EX move, like that Moonsault Slash has come a long way. The EX
Yeah,
version.
yeah, it
It
got
just used to
buffed.
be so garbage, man.
Got buffed in phase 2.
I remember, I think you complained about it on your very first match you've ever played Street Fighter V. And
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
turned
yeah.
around and looked at me like, this move is garbage.
I'm like, I'm gonna use this move, and then like when I used it, I'm like, holy crap, this move is garbage.
This is so bad.
Because in theory, it should have been strong, right?
Yeah.
The way it looks and stuff like that, you're like, oh man, this move looks like it's strong if it's plus on block or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this full screen thing coming at you with double kicks and stuff and combo afterwards. This thing looks strong, and then it's like the slowest move ever that doesn't have tracking and it whiffs
Yeah.
a lot. It was too high. It's like, okay, never again. Not using this move ever again.
I just remember in the trailer, it looked so sick. I think it's because back then, like Street Fighter V, when you do EX moves, you didn't flash yellow.
Yeah, you didn't
And
flash.
they use the ink effect as a way to display if it's an EX move. I kind of like that, man. Like, I think the moves look way cooler when you're not flashing yellow, but
Yeah.
I guess they just wanted to
They
make it
needed
very
a visual
clear.
indicator. They needed a visual indicator.
Yeah, instead of the ink splatter. But I thought that was a really cool style to it.
Yeah.
But
So now they buffed it in phase 2 and it's stuck. So it's really strong. But like just yeah, his normals are so good. He has an anti-air for every situation.
hmm
So it's like he's a brick wall. Also like offense.
Nash has come a long way.
Like oh god, that's just so good.
Now people don't need to complain about Nash anymore. They just need to complain about Ryu and Ken.
No, they're gonna complain about Nash.
Oh, you
being
think they'll still complain about him?
They're complaining about Nash being OP. Not
Oh, the other way around now.
the other way around now.
Buff him, please buff him. And it's like, oh, now he's too strong. Nerf him. Fuck.
I know a lot of
Must get
people,
so frustrating for Capcom to hear all that feedback.
because I know a lot of players are like, oh man, Nash is so strong now, and like a lot of people are like, fuck, Nash is so good. Can't deal with these normals and stuff
The
like that.
forward hard punch and forward leg kick just
Dude, he's a footsie monster, man.
Yeah.
He's a footsie monster. Like I played Jaewong's Chun-Li, and it was like pure footsies.
I feel like he can just press whatever normal he wants, man. It's just so
You-
crazy.
It's not that though. Like the thing with Nash, like yeah, Nash is a very buttonsy character,
Mhm.
but the thing is like a lot of his normals are slightly negative or like really negative on block. So you have to space. If you want to maintain like a good range, a safe range,
Mhm.
you have to have footsies with Nash. You got to space those normals out properly.
Mhm.
Like forward roundhouse, forward roundhouse and forward fierce are really punishable if you do them up close, right? So you have to use them at max range. Same with like forward medium kick and stuff like that, and bazooka knee. You got to do these normals at like max range to keep yourself safe,
Mhm.
right? So like you have to have footsies with Nash if you want to use those normals.
Or
Like
a
those
really
normals are
slow
good.
projectile would help too.
Yeah, but like, and his dash is amazing. His dash is also really good. But like, you
Oh.
have to have footsies with Nash in order to use his good normals effectively. And if you don't have footsies with Nash, you're gonna get blown up.
Or you can just spam moonsault slash. If you can't
No,
put
it's
it in
not. It's not as good anymore. Like, and people are starting to recognize the situation and anti-air him before it even gets started.
Mhm.
So I don't think, like, yeah, in the hands of a good player or someone who knows how to use Nash, like,
Mhm.
it's annoying, right? And it feels like he just pushes buttons, he just like gorilla his way in.
Mhm.
But like, the reason why it looks that way is just the players that is familiar with Nash and is good at using his tools.
Mhm.
Like they understand, they have fundamentals.
Mhm. Hmm. Anything else you want to talk about with Nash?
No.
I agree with you though. He's very strong right now. Okay, so next character, Killy,
Rashid.
Rashid. So I didn't play Rashid as much as I thought I'd be playing because I was having so much fun with Zangief. But Rashid, they did change some things with him. I noticed right off the bat. His hard punch crush counter into the hard tornado
Oh yeah,
was
they
taken
nerfed
out.
that.
That
Yeah,
really annoyed me
it was
because that
so
was such a
sad.
cool combo.
I
Yeah.
remember that from that one of their stress tests, one of their random, like really random stress tests where Laura was first made playable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took that out. And I also remember that his forward strong, you can't cancel into V trigger on the second hit.
Yeah, and I think that's fair because it's
It
such a
was
good
really
hit
strong. It
confirmed.
was really strong.
Really strong because you couldn't special cancel after the second hit, so why V trigger kind of thing. Um, I had some problems against people because a lot of people are better at playing neutral, and I feel like Rashid he's got some problems with some of his normals. But and I feel like with Rashid you really gotta understand your mix ups with his V trigger. You really have to have some setups in play. To really take advantage of that character, which I didn't know. So I did have some issues. Thank God they didn't take out his crazy EX setup where you can go any
That's right.
yeah like low hard punch into the EX tornado V skill towards him and then jump up and it will push you at the peak of your jump and you can cross your opponent. I'm so happy they didn't take that out because it was such an amazing unique thing for a character to have. So, and you know, he can still do his wall jump setups and stuff. So, Rashid, like I said, I feel like if you don't take advantage of his things after V trigger, like his setups and stuff, I feel like he's a little weaker around the cast. There might be more startup on his projectiles too. I haven't really checked out the Rashid forms to be honest, but I personally had problems
I think
with
his
the
neutral
neutral thing.
game is just kind of
Yeah,
hard with Rashid, just his normals
it's
and
hard to convert into things too,
yeah. But
basically.
I think the key is like utilizing spacing for his that light tornado. So I
Mhm.
think it's like plus or whatever when you don't fully do it, like
Mhm.
you only do like the first few hits. I think he's like plus on block afterwards. So
Mhm.
like he can really do a lot of extended block strings on people. Like
Mhm.
you never know when it's safe to push buttons against Rashid when they're doing things like that. So a lot of like good frame traps and stuff like that. But like getting into positioning to be able to start that offense is where it's difficult for Rashid.
Yeah.
But he gets a lot of like mix-up options from pretty much anywhere on screen. Like in the corner, he can do that wall jump
Yeah.
into a cross-up.
Yeah. Like he's a
Uh,
very tricky character, you
He's
know.
very, very tricky. Some of the things, like I played Lamer Boy's Rashid, and he had a good Rashid.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, he had good like anti back tech setups with
Mhm.
the tornado dash tornado that was catching me. Also he'd like after certain knockdowns he'd do like a neutral jump. And that neutral jump looks weird. Like he does that weird
A
spin.
little flip, yeah.
Yeah, but he'd do it where he would time a jump fierce, like deep, and so you block the jump fierce. But other times he would like purposely time it late, so you go to block the jump fierce, but it whiffs, and then he throws you right away.
Oh, weird.
So
Okay.
he had like all these weird setups and stuff like that, and he was also utilizing like the wall jump, where you put him in the corner, and then like you jump into the corner, and then you wall
I
jump.
know, I do that shit all the time.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed
So
with it.
because I've seen it with other players and I've played your Rashid before,
Yeah.
he did that on me and I blocked it first try.
Oh, okay, okay, that's good.
So it's like I'm
So
sure he
he's
was caught off guard. He's just like who the
yeah,
heck blocks this?
yeah. They also speaking of corner, like his corner combos. When you do the corner medium tornado spin,
Hmm.
uh, it, it's really hard to link the EX version after it. It's like much tighter. Uh, it still works, but you can definitely see there's a difference on the height maybe or the recovery. It's really weird. So I had some problems with that. I was using a super a lot more as an anti-air rather than comboing into it, so that was great. What else did they change with Rashid that I noticed? He's got a new crush counter. For some reason, his crouching hard punch. You know how he swings down, does two hits.
Yeah.
The second chop, so the last chop, is the crush counter.
Ooh,
It's really weird.
that's awesome
And I,
because
I, I
when I
mentioned that
use
in
it,
the Rashid forums, but no one said anything. I don't think anyone knows about that.
man, because when I use crouch in phase two, I used to use crouch fierce as the meaty
Hmm.
after a knockdown, but I always timed it so that the second hit
Hmm.
was the meaty because I wanted it on the tail end of the active frames.
Yeah.
Because if I did it where both hits hit as the meaty, it's like I'd be at frame disadvantage. So if I time it at the tail end where only the second hit hits, I'd
Hmm.
be like plus. Or that was my goal anyways when doing it, when timing it that way. So the
Hmm.
fact that it's a crush counter now, I really like that. I really like this. Does it
It's
launch him? Does it launch him on hit?
no, it spins them.
It spins him? Oh man, so good.
It spins them.
That's a sick
If
change.
if you use it without doing a meaty, because I didn't try using it as a meaty. I should, but I should have. But I use it like max range because that's how you get that second hit every
Second,
time.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it hits a little further on the second hit.
Yeah.
They're so far away from you that you can't really follow up with anything. But we found out you could do like EX Ego Spike and
Yeah.
kick right through them and go that way. We were trying to figure out some things. Like I said, I didn't play Rashid nearly as long in this beta phase, but that's definitely a buff for him. And so you could probably create some pretty cool meaty setups that way.
That's sick. I didn't know that. I really like that.
Mm.
That's cool.
So yeah, and he's still got like it looks like you can use the EX Tornado as a reversal now, and you get crush countered if the opponent blocks it.
Okay.
So it's definitely like another reversal he can use. I was using it sometimes under pressure.
Hmm.
So Rashid, definitely that character needs to be explored way more. He definitely has a ton of setups. He's still one of my most favorite characters in the game. And yeah, like I said, I just didn't get too much time to play with him. But like I said, I feel like his neutral is just like a little weaker than other characters right now. And
Yeah.
I feel like to play him at a decent level, you do need to know some setups. That's what I mean. So he does take a little bit of work, some knowledge. But he's a really cool character. Really unique to the game.
Hmm.
But that's pretty much it about Rashid.
All right. Well,
Okay.
next character.
Next character. Who we're missing here? You want to talk about? Let's talk about Cammy.
Ah. I heard she got a couple nerfs. First of all, her V trigger. Phase 1 and 2, she could do 3 specials in V trigger
Yeah.
before it would go away. In phase 3 now, she can only do 2 specials before V trigger ends up.
Hmm.
And I think that's fair. I think this was one of the gravest oversights we made, but in phase 2, Cammy, she is really strong. We put her on the bottom, we were dumb.
I'm ashamed. I
That
am sorry.
she was so strong in phase 2. We didn't realize it until afterwards, but holy crap, that
But it was because of a game system change, not you know what I mean? Like not really a character nerf that was the oversight. The fact that she can combo into her V trigger from any normal was absolutely insane.
not just that, but her V skills also got changed to being +1 on block,
Mm-hmm.
which was also crazy. And then strong is +1 on block.
It builds meter on whiff and on hit.
Like,
Fucking crazy.
holy crap. Like, Cammy's normals were insane in phase 2. And, like, it was just so hard. Like, she had a really strong footsie game, like a really strong defensive footsie game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, when V-Trigger was activated, the mind games was just insane. Because it's not so much of, like, the mix-ups, but it's just, like, the fact that, like, you go into turtle mode. It's like when Rose activates Ultra to Soul Satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you automatically go into this, like, defensive mode. Because, it, like,
Presence
you,
right away, yeah.
like, if you try to play footsies with Cammy afterwards, like, you can, but it's really risky. Because if Cammy, like, hits you with a crouch medium kick, she goes, like, drill into DP, and then she gets, like, one more setup afterwards with the hooligan into, like, cross up or whatever like that.
Massive damage.
And it just does a lot of damage and stuff. And she can reset and do all sorts of stuff, and just it cascades down and just snowballs out of control to the point where, like, she comes back just like that. She made her really strong in phase 2. So, like, automatically when she popped V-Trigger, you go in defense mode. And, like, when you're in defense mode, she starts doing those mix-ups, right, with the hooligan and stuff like that. So, like, you put all that together, and she was easily one of the best characters in phase 2.
Mm-hmm.
Really strong. Tremendous oversight on our part.
Yeah. It's okay, we gotta hold that.
So
she's one of the
now-
most annoying characters to play online too, man.
Yeah. Now in phase 3, here's some of the changes they made. I think you can no longer combo off of a dive kick, like a regular dive kick now.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear
But-
she's safe on it though. I can check.
And then, but they increased decrease the startup, so you can actually do it out of your jump faster.
Oh. Really?
it comes out so fast now. Like especially the EX version, like it just comes out so fast.
The dive kick?
Yeah. So like they jump and then go EX dive kick and it just comes out so fast. You're like, holy crap.
Okay. Well, can they Tiger Knee it then?
No, they can't. It's not. The height restriction hasn't been removed. It's just like the startup of the dive kick is
Gotcha.
fast.
Okay.
So when you do it, the EX version is like significantly faster. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like just catches you by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are the nerfs? I heard they nerfed her crouch forward hitbox. I could be mistaken though, but that's what I read.
I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. Her forward hard kick is -2 in the
Really? I
BFAs.
thought they said it was +1.
I'm reading Gilly's frame data and it says -2, and I'm on
L,
Cammy 3.
I know LPN said in the when he was at Capcom HQ, he said that forward roundhouse was like +1.
Yeah, but he didn't. I don't think he mentioned that sweeps crush countered. So maybe he was playing an older
Who
version.
knows? Okay, so maybe that's not true anymore.
Seriously,
Yeah,
that being like plus is retarded.
it would have been retarded, way too good.
Yeah,
I've been like,
and
man,
-2 is safe enough as it is. You
yeah,
know,
-2 is safe. It means that you can actually like you can fish for it for throw baits and stuff like that, but
it's a
at
good
least you're
meaty.
not yeah, at least you can't just like throw it out there just for the sake of it because it's just plus, right?
Yeah. Like I said, Cammy's a really annoying character to play against online because her walk speed is so insane. If the opponent is teleporting around the screen, you just get thrown like nuts.
Yeah.
Like the meta for Cammy is like walk in front of you and then stick out a crouching medium kick or a standing medium punch and convert it into combo, and then that's where it all begins. Then it's like crouching light punch, throw you, and sometimes don't throw you. You know, it. Oh man, it sucks. She just snowballs your ass so hard.
Yep.
And the V trigger nerf is pretty warranted. Uh, like I said, her doing like converting a standing medium kick into V trigger, into crouching medium punch, and taking off like 30% of your health, and then still have her V trigger left for one more attack, was absolutely nutty. But what I think they should change with Cammy though is that keep it so that she can only use 2 specials after V trigger, but if allow you to be able to use your EX moves in V trigger. So that way you can decide when you want to use them. So for example, you can go Spiral Arrow V trigger version and then use the EX Cannon Spike. And then that way you can still save your V trigger and still combo into it and do a lot of damage. That might be a crazy buff, but if you're using meter, right? So I think that'd be a good change. Good middle ground for Cammy players to decide if they want to go for a mix up afterwards or just cash out the damage right then and there. Super still seems good, especially since they changed the motion for it to core circle forward twice in the kick. And Cannon Spike's still annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, her V skill is so crazy.
Is this still +1 on block?
It's +2 on block.
What? They
Yeah.
buffed it even further? V skill.
You know, it's just +1 more, you know?
Oh no, that's so stupid. Oh my god.
Hold on, sorry. I'm checking the older versions to make sure.
Just make sure that, because I'm pretty sure it was +1 in the old version.
It was. They did buff it.
Oh my god.
+2.
Oh my god. That's insane. Like, yeah, you can kid her out of the initial, like, startup of the V skill and stuff, but when you don't, man, you block that V skill, fuck.
Oh, I know. So you block
Trapped
the
in
V skill and you
frames,
can't
bro.
press anything, yeah.
Trapped in frames.
Because the crouching medium punch is incoming.
Is it still +1 on block, crouch strong?
Crouching medium punch?
Yeah.
Yes, still +1
Oh
block.
no. Oh man. Block V skill, it's trapped in frames.
Yeah, and the startup is 5, so it's a perfect fray trap. You go crouching light punch, and
Yeah.
it's because of the priority system.
Crown of Hit
Crouching
City.
medium punch is and the fact that Cammy's V skill combos very reliably after a cross up. Like
Oh,
cross
man.
up V skill, crouching medium punch, spiral arrow.
That's nuts. So it's not like super nuts, but it's good.
It's good.
That's a good buff. Holy.
Cammy is good. She's a very
Thanks.
plain Jane like character, but she's hella strong.
If you play Cammy footsie base, you're gonna do really well with this character. Like if you
Yeah.
have footsies, right, you're gonna do really well with Cammy.
Yeah, the return of Cammy, man.
Very
the
strong,
Return.
very strong footsie character.
Cammy's very, very strong in Street Fighter 5, dude. Especially that universal V trigger system now. She's just scary at all times,
Yeah.
man.
That's yeah. I don't know. I like Cammy though. I like Cammy as a character.
You do?
She's like I used her in ST, man. She was my main in ST.
I just don't like her V trigger. I think it's just so lame.
Oh yeah. But I'm
Her V
talking about
trigger's
like character overall. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use Cammy in ST. I use Cammy in CVS2, stuff like that. Like I
Mhm.
like Cammy a lot as a character. So I don't mind her seeing her being good again. But holy crap, like character's annoying.
She
The
is,
fight.
man. I'm just checking her frame data real quick to see if she can still link her crouch and light punch into back medium punch. Hit is 4. Back medium punch startup is 4. So yes, she can.
One framer.
Yeah, 1 framer or 3 framer, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can still link crouch and light punch into back medium punch, which is great.
You gotta be point blank though.
Yeah, you do have to be point blank. You do, but she has the option of doing it.
Strong anti-air game. Like
Yeah.
back strong was a really strong anti-air. I think that was a really underrated anti-air. It's really good. You need really reliable. Also the anti-airs cross-ups.
Hmm.
That's perfect.
There's not much else I can talk about Cammy, man. She's so straightforward. Such just a straightforward, strong character, you know?
Yeah. So moving on to the next.
Let's just move on, man. Yeah, so
Did you pick Cammy or did I pick Cammy?
I think I picked Cammy. I just like this once again, we at VesperArcade humbly apologize for our poor prediction of Cammy on the tier list. But, you know, it's okay. We recognize her now. Okay, next character.
Let's go with Laura.
Laura, I actually didn't play. It was my buddy Qua that played him the entire time on the stream. But we played her a lot.
Yes.
Just not me. A lot of people said she's the Abel of Street Fighter 4. Do you agree with this, Killy?
Yeah, pretty much. She's kind of like a footsie-based character, but she doesn't really get a whole lot off of her footsie tools, unlike Abel in Ultra. But like Abel initially, he didn't get a lot off of his footsies. So it was until like his later buffs that it felt like he got more mileage out of like a good footsie, like stand forward, like the step kick stuff. But with Laura, it's kind of weird. Like her range on her normals feel a little stubby, but like a lot of her normals move her forward. So it felt like she'd be good at whiff punishing if you were properly spacing yourself out to like utilize the forward momentum of her normals. But like she can't really low confirm. Like she can't combo off of her low short. So I thought kind of sucked because like kind of took away from her mix-ups. Like she can with the charge fireball and stuff like that. Like she could get some mix-up options going, but you need to threaten with a low at some point. And because she can't go low short into something, it hurts her options. So
Did she do it before?
No, she could never do it.
Gotcha.
So the only thing you could really do would be like low forward, but it's a little bit slow. So it's like I don't feel it's like a really good option in her wheel of mix-ups. She can be really annoying with her stand strong. Like I think it's neutral on block, or maybe plus. I can't remember. Can you check the frame data on that?
What's that?
Or stand strong.
Standing medium punch?
Yeah.
It's +3 on block.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What
plus
about her
4 on hit.
What about her crouch strong?
Crouching medium punch is +1 on block, +3 on hit.
And what about her stand short?
Standing light kick is +3 on block.
Oh my god!
+4 on hit.
No wonder. Okay, Laura is like I got destroyed by one Laura player. And
I couldn't jump. I couldn't stand. Every time she got me into a block screen, I always held up and I got hit by a standing medium punch every fucking time.
She's a frame trap monster. Look at that frame data, man. Okay, she is a frame trap monster.
Okay.
That frame data is insane.
Yeah, she's got a lot of +3s, hey?
+3 on block. Off of her stand short. What's the startup on her stand short?
4.
Holy crap. That's insane. 4 frame normal.
I hope this frame data is correct.
Oh my god.
I really do.
That's nuts. Okay, yeah. But yeah, Laura is a frame trap monster.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like when she gets in close, you're fucked. You don't have a reversal. You're trapped in frames, bro.
Oh my god.
Trapped in
So
frames.
Laura's like her entire game plan is,
Get close.
she wants to get close. So if you don't let her get close, she'll start throwing out, a projectile every now and then, start charging it up, doing her
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But once she gets in, she'll do this kind of thing where she'll hit you a few times and then she'll either command grab you or she'll hit you with some kind of meaty frame trap which stops you from jumping. And then it's really annoying because she does her like what the hell is her core circle forward called? Bull charge.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it hits the opponent, and then you're kind of like neutral, and you can command grab them after for a reset. That shit's really annoying.
Yeah, yeah. Holy crap. Man, that frame data is nasty.
Her
Ooh,
command grab,
it's good, man.
it's good. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's really annoying, and it racks up the stun.
Yeah, and then the the light elbow is plus on hit, right? So if she goes low forward, light elbow, it combos. You got to deal with the plus frame. So it's like,
Command
am I
grab.
gonna command grab you or am I gonna push buttons?
Yeah.
And then you're in this
yeah.
50-50 game.
Yeah.
And then like if you get hit, she can go, she can combo off of it and put you in the same situation if she wants to, or she can just convert into cash out the damage, right? Her fireball is really good, I think.
Yeah.
I really like her fireball, especially when you're playing neutral and you just like do a full charge on it or like a half charge. Um, there's like a video where someone does a full charge heavy fireball and Ryu's in Denjin mode and like Denjin Hadoken does like 2 to 3 hits.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy shot like 2 or 3 Hadokens and that fierce fireball was still going. It's
Oh,
still
really?
you couldn't
It's like
nullify
Aegis
it.
Reflector, man.
Couldn't nullify it, man. Couldn't nullify it. So that projectile is insane. It only does about 3 hits, 2 to 3 hits.
Uh-huh.
But once that fireball's out, it's really annoying to contend with. So you have
And
to
it's
play.
kind of like an anti-air almost.
Yeah, like if they jump, it's free anti-air for you. When you have that, like that's the #1 like Twitch reaction for people. It's like when you got them like when you're threatening with this fireball as a shield,
Yeah.
you want to jump over it. And so as soon as they jump over, you do the fierce bolt charge, and that's her anti-air special, and it's just guaranteed. And if they get hit by the fireball, so like they jump into the fireball, you have enough time to confirm into the anti-air bolt charge too.
The Superman punch.
Yeah.
She's got 2 really reliable anti-airs, her standing medium punch and her core circle forward hard punch, and then like you said, the fireball.
Yeah.
I think it's called Thunderclap. Yeah, Thunderclap.
And then if it hits like if you get like a crush counter suite, you have enough time to like start charging that fireball.
Mm-hmm.
It won't hit meaty per se, but it gives you enough time to like actually go for a cross up attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Or like tick grab, all sorts of things. If they get hit by that fireball on the ground, you actually have enough time to go like for her forward fierce target combo into the fierce bolt charge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like lots of damage. So like if you watch the stream archive, I did some like one-on-one training mode sets with Qua using lore, and like I'd land that once in a while. And it's like
Okay.
and it was on Geef, and it did a lot of damage. And, like Geef has more health than usual, so can't imagine what it does on like Chun, for example.
Seems like Laura has some problems when she's under pressure.
Yeah, she doesn't have a good reversal. Like her best reversal is like her EX bolt charge because it has armor on it.
Which is like ironic because she's so good at pressure.
Yeah.
Her EX version of her bull charge, her core circle forward, 2 punches. It has armor, so you
But
can
it's
go
not-
through fireballs. It could be used as a ghetto reversal.
But it's like it's not armor right off the bat, so meaties would beat it, stuff like
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
that. So yeah, it's not like the best. It's not the best reversal, but it's good in the neutral game. So yeah, she's like a total beast when she gets in though. Like the one Laura I played that actually knew how to use the character, I got frame trap for days.
Yeah.
Just could not push buttons, and then I get command grabbed, and it was just like
Pretty good super. Throw super that
Oh
you
yeah,
can
that
combo into.
throw super is fast, and it also has a lot of range. It's like
And you can combo into it.
and you
yeah.
can combo into it. That thing is nuts. That's a good super. Holy crap. Laura's a
Some-
lot better than I think now.
Yeah, she's got a strange mechanic too, where she's got a target combo that you can only V trigger out of it, but you can't special cancel out of it. It's very strange. Her standing medium punch into medium kick.
Medium kick, yeah. Otherwise, it'd be too good. If she could special cancel it, it'd be way too good. Holy crap.
It'd be way too good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you're fishing, you just fish with a standing medium punch, right? Because
yeah,
it's three.
yeah.
If it hits, you're like, okay, target combo into special.
What was your
Let's.
like poking tool you used with Laura? Like a footsie tool? Like I felt like her
Uh,
normals were really awkward.
yeah, stand strong was one of them. Crouch medium kick's another. Stand short. Um, stand crouch fierce sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Stand fierce is good in footsies too when you're like fishing for that counter hit. So
Mm-hmm.
like when you're playing footsies and you're walking back, um, stand fierce is really good. I think it's kind of fast on start somewhat. It has a good hitbox on it. Quad would do that too. He counter hit me. He get a crush counter
Mm-hmm.
hit on me for that because I'd be like throwing out medium punch. So like the priority system would be working in his favor.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were doing like the Gi Flora match, and I'd be using Stand Strong as like my footsie tool.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd walk back to Stand Fierce, and
Mm-hmm.
I guess and crush counter me. So I'm assuming the priority system was just working out in his
Yeah.
favor in those instances.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. Um, yeah. Oh man, she's pretty solid.
Pretty cool
Just
character.
yeah, really really interesting, really fun to play. Just
It's really cool seeing some of the videos that people are coming up with her fireball setups and stuff are really really
I love
interesting.
her fireball. Her fireball is so good.
Yeah, it's really really interesting character. A
Mhm.
grappler with a projectile, pretty cool. Hybrid grappler.
I don't know if she's like super strong, but it feels like the like when she's just up close, it just feels so dominating.
Yeah, I feel like now that people can see the frame data for her, they can really take advantage of her. And like I feel like people are just trying to play too much neutral with her, and her normals are really iffy. So that's why I feel like people thought that maybe she was weak.
Hmm. Her V trigger is really good though. Um, her V trigger uh, buffs her V skill. So like if she moves forward, like her forward V skill
Mm-hmm.
travels so far and so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she charges her fireball, it actually charges the fireball faster.
Oh, interesting.
So like her V trigger, like I was didn't know what it did exactly at first, but
Mm-hmm.
like when you put it all together, like it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like Laura, but it's just kind of awkward. Her neutral game is just really awkward. That's about the only major thing with her.
Yeah,
Stan Roundhouse is also a good poke, also a good crush counter.
it's kind of got that Karin-esque
Yeah, yeah, it does.
feel to it.
Yeah, Crouch Roundhouse also has good range. Like, but yeah, her neutral game is just really awkward. I think when people figure it out, I think she could be a really strong character. Just right now, she has more potential. Just don't know where she sits right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anything else you want to talk about, Laura?
No, that's about it.
All right, let's talk about Karin.
Uh,
So,
uh,
how's Karin's journey so far?
she got some warranted nerfs in this
She
version.
was her normals are just
So
so insane, man. It's
yeah,
really annoying to play
she
against.
probably has the longest range pokes. Well, maybe Birdie does.
Mm-hmm.
She has a really strong footsie game. Like her stand forward is really good. Her crouch forward's really good. Crouch roundhouse is probably like the farthest hitting crouch roundhouse in the entire. Mind that's not a slide.
Yeah.
Um, Gimmicky mix-up game and gimmicky resets with her V trigger, but
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty strong. She had that cross under mix-up in phase two that we talked about. Now it's gone.
Yeah.
She can't. She can no longer do low short, low jab, so she can't link those two.
Is that a big deal?
I don't think it's a big deal. Some people think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, yeah, she could go. She could used to go low short, low jab, palm, juggle, and like, yeah, that's good damage off of a low short confirm. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not like she absolutely needed it.
Okay.
That's not her like design intent. Her design intends to be like really footsie frame trap oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a whole like tool set for that. That's just really strong. Like her footsie normals are so good.
Yeah, man. It seems like every time I press a button, when she presses a button, it's counter hit city. I just get beat by everything.
Yeah.
It's just so scary to press buttons against Karin.
Yeah, and then you always have to be aware of her like that overhead, the rainbow palm thing, as well as her command overhead, stuff like that.
Can she special cancel off her crouching medium kick or not?
Yes, she can.
Okay.
So I don't know if they were just talking about the late cancel properties or not, but she can still special cancel out
Okay,
crouch forward,
I was wondering about that.
which is pretty insane if you think about it.
Yeah, it
'Cause her
is. It
her
definitely is.
crouch forward is really long range, and like Nash probably has more range on his crouch forward, but he can't special cancel out of it.
Yeah.
It'd be really nuts if he could, but like Karin has a comparable range on her crouch medium kick, and she can.
Yeah, she's got the crouching medium kick that Ken and Ryu would kill for.
Yeah, that's the thing, and she can like confirm into a lot of things off of it, into big
Hmm.
damage, like huge. So I'm actually kind of surprised about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
Karen, like the Karen meta right now seems to be like do a bunch of shit and then do a random rainbow and then get in and then they'll continue to do like low forward or low medium kick dash command dash crouching medium punch standing medium punch crouching medium punch, you know what I mean?
Stand
Standing
medium
medium
kick,
punch is +1 on block, crouching medium punch is +2 on block, and it's got a good hitbox.
but just the pushback is quite a bit. But it always puts her in range of her stand and medium kick. So it's like
Hmm.
buttons, 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 buttons in your face, man. Just
Yeah.
trap frames. Um, but yeah, strong character.
Can she still use her hard punch as an anti-air?
Yes.
Okay.
What else did they give her? Oh, they took away. So there was like some weird glitch. I don't know if it was a glitch or if it was intentional, but okay, everyone knows she has that just frame palm, right? It was discovered later on that if you do a just frame with her EX, it wouldn't take any meter. It
Interesting.
would be free, like a free EX. So she had some really crazy damage output. Like she can go like EX, EX, and super if you do all
It
these
doesn't
just frames.
sound intentional, but
So I don't know if it was a glitch or whatever, but they took that out. So she can't do that
sounds
anymore,
warranted.
which is fine. So like it felt like what they nerfed in Karen, like I used air quotations there, is stuff that seemed like they were unintended for Karen to have, like
Hmm.
the reset, the EX just frames, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Her core gameplay is still intact, so I think she's still a really strong character. She's just not. Um, Her comeback factor kind of got less without the not necessarily comeback factor, but like that explosive output with that mix up. Without it, uh, it makes Karen more fair.
Hmm.
So, but I still think she's a really strong character.
Okay. Um. Yeah, Karen, I don't play myself, but the players, I still see she's a very popular character still.
Yeah.
Karen will definitely be one of the most popular characters in the game. I still haven't seen people really take advantage of her V trigger, like the possible mix-ups they can do in the setups. She still has really good comeback factor with her super, really easy to combo into, hit confirm the target.
So many ways to combo into that super.
Yeah.
Oh, her EX reversal, that the EX palm thing, has counter hit property on recovery now. So you will get crush countered.
Oh yeah. You know it was so stupid because uh, I noticed that out of all the characters that do mash reversal, I noticed that Karen players do it the most for
Yeah,
some reason.
because it's so fast and it's like invincible and starve or whatever. Like it was a really good reversal.
Yeah, the funny part is this is one Karen player I was playing against. He did it on me twice, and it was so annoying. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna crush counter this guy's ass next time. So I finally baited it. He does it with Ryu, and then I punish with standing hard kick, and the standing hard kick goes over his head because Karen ducks when she
Oh,
lands.
there's like another video where someone tried to do that with Rashid, like his EX tornado,
Uh
and
huh.
then like he goes stand roundhouse and it whiffed, and then he went stand fierce and it whiffed.
Really? Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the recovery of the tornado puts Rashid in a crouching state.
Oh man.
So he could not land his crush counter normal. And they were like, Capcom, please.
Oh seriously, man. Like I did standing hard kick, she ducked under, and then she punches me, and I just, oh my god, I rolled my eyes back so far. I was just like, so annoying. It's really funny. Yeah. I think Karen is probably just one of the best footsie characters in the game. It's just
Yeah,
his normals are fucking insane. Just so long range.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to feel like she doesn't have strong tools to open people up, but she just has strong footsie tools, and that naturally opens people up.
And she's very gimmicky online. A lot of
Yeah,
gimmicky
yeah,
stuff that
yeah.
people do. Still.
Just ignore the gimmicks, because that's not what's going to carry them through high level play.
That's true. Anything else you want to talk about, Karen? Okay, next character. How many characters have we covered so far? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. We've got 4 characters left. You want to talk about maybe Bison?
Sure, you're gonna have to talk more about Bison.
Lord Bison himself. Okay, so M.Bison.
So he
He's
got
had a very funny journey.
buffs, buffs, and more buffs.
He's always been a great character, I feel. At every point, he's always been a great character. And I still feel like he's an excellent, excellent character in Street Fighter V. Bison, I played a little bit of Bison, and it was really strange playing Bison and getting used to how you're supposed to play him properly, because you can't just do random knee press anymore.
I made that -4, so it's
Yeah, it made it -4. You gotta make sure it's meaty. You gotta make sure you do it from a safe distance. You can't just blindly throw it out and roll your eyes and just destroy people with it. Well, maybe some people you can, but not everyone anymore. So a lot of his play style that I found was you do knee press, and then you're at this range where you both can hit each other with the tail end of an attack, and if since you're -4, you're not gonna win most of the time when the opponent's mashing jab or something. But one thing I noticed you could do is you could do your cycle blast after the knee press, and it's like a detached hitbox. You know what I mean, like a projectile, and that stopped people a lot from just throwing out attacks during his knee press. Another thing too is that Bison's EX knee press is actually plus on block for some reason. It's +1 on block, so you can do like a knee press into EX knee press, and that'll discourage them from throwing normals. And if you can condition your opponent to stop throwing normals after your knee press, then they're in trouble, because then Bison's gonna start flipping forward constantly in the corner. Like ST Bison styles, So that's really amusing. Another thing I saw someone do was you do light knee press, you combo into it, and then you do an instant what is it called? The somersault skull diver. So you immediately go. So you basically, after the knee press, they block it. You'll flip up in the air and then do an attack from the air, kind of thing, and you kind of direct it so it hits at the tail end, which you can link scissor kicks after, I think. So that's really funny. But so basically, what I'm saying is that people are trying to figure out ways to stop people from pressing buttons after knee press, which is very amusing. Bison got a new target combo that doesn't really make sense. So Bison has a target combo now.
Yeah.
It is standing medium punch, down forward hard punch. So, but the weird thing about this target combo is that it doesn't combo. Naturally combo. Apparently it still combos if you hit it at the tail end of the medium punch, or if you do it meaty, or if you land a counter hit with it. So, Bison's down forward hard punch has been changed. It does a single attack, and Bison moves forward. So that is a target combo off a medium punch now. Very weird tool that the Capcom gave Bison. I'm not sure what they were looking for there.
I don't know, but I think it's cool.
It makes sense to give Bison options, like charge characters options to move forward. Any type of advancing normals is always great. Bison didn't really need it in Street Fighter 4 because his walk speed was like Vega speed. It was insane. So, but now Bison's super slow. So another thing too is I feel like you really got to take advantage of Bison's teleport dash. Very important. You want to do like a constant barrage of attacks and then randomly dash forward and throw them, which is really hard to stop, or maybe just do like a hard kick and fish for a crush counter. A lot of cool things, and I also feel like you should get your V trigger out as soon as possible, because once you're able to teleport behind them, because in V trigger that's when you're able to dash past their body, you can really start annoying them with attacks, because it's kind of tough to weave in and out and try to play the foots game with Bison because his walk speed is so slow. But he does have excellent normals. His down hard punch was a pretty reliable anti-air still. You can still use hard kick and maybe get the crush counter out of it. His EX fireball, so his EX cycle blast, where it's actually a projectile that moves towards the opponent. It goes pretty much full screen now, so it's really good for getting your pressure in if you want to use it, because it's 2 hits.
Isn't it plus on block now?
The EX blast?
Yeah.
It's +2 on block, so you can use it to go past, stop a projectile and then teleport dash towards the opponent and get some pressure off. You can also combo after it too. And they changed some of his V-trigger combos. Bison was really weird with his V-trigger lately, because you can V-trigger after the second hit of a knee press. So before, you can do light knee press into standing light kick, into Psycho Blast into EX Head Stomp, crazy stuff like that. But I noticed there's more pushback, so the standing light kick after a light knee press doesn't always link unless you're point blank. So certain combos work, some don't. But some people said that standing light punch now works after the light knee press, but I wasn't able to test it. Needless to say that Bison still has a lot of combo options into V-Trigger. But I just feel like you shouldn't hang on to it too long, since Bison's V-Trigger is 3 bars after all. And you really just need to take advantage of Bison when his V-Trigger is active, because he's got a ton of comeback factor. One knee press into a ton of EX moves damage, right?
Mm-hmm. Play Africo's Bison.
I haven't seen a really good Bison play, so I might check that out. Was he streaming?
I don't know if he's streaming, but he was good. Plays Bison like when he has V-Trigger like it's Guilty Gear Slayer, man. It's like
he starts dashing like crazy.
He's like strong, dash behind you, stand strong, dash, and then he's in front.
I truly think that's how you should play him, man.
Yeah. So like that's how I started using Bison in like at E3, and I thought maybe I'm just using this like wrong. Maybe this isn't the way you do it. And then I start seeing Africole do what I did in Phase 1. Now I start at E3. I'm like, oh. So, yeah, I guess you do use him like Slayer.
That's really funny, man. That's really funny. A very, like it's a change that worried me when I saw that he was able to teleport on his regular dash. It did worry me when I saw that, but I can see why they did that. It really helps his gameplay out a lot. They changed this super to a core circle forward punch motion. Still works the same. Still uses an anti-air.
Can't super cancel.
You can't super cancel off of the second hit of the knee press anymore. Basically, it's a damage nerf. It doesn't really change too much. It does stop him from linking it from ways that he could before, though. So that's a little odd. But he can still, there's still a lot of ways for him to link into his super. Standing hard crush is still one of the best crush counters in the game. You can get massive damage off of it. Just massive. Really fast. Standing hard kick on block is +3. Like, it's pretty beast, man.
Yeah, so the priority system really helps that one out too.
Yeah, Bison's jumping hard punch is still pretty good.
Strong character here again.
One of the biggest buffs, man, is Bison's crouching medium kick can now be special cancel.
Oh yeah. They brought that
He's
back.
got a low attack into knee press. Really funny, man. The start up on crouching medium kick is it's pretty slow. It's 7 frames, but a low hit, into special cancel. A lot of Bison players were using that normal by accident because they're so used to Street Fighter 4, but now they brought it back. So, pretty cool, man. Yeah, Bison is still Bison, guys. That's pretty much all I have to say. He's just got some more unique tools, a really strange new target combo. And I'm still kind of exploring Bison, how he should be played at a high level rather than knee press bonanza. But I still feel like he's just one of the strongest characters still.
He's strong, but it feels like he's like a little bit more fair.
Okay.
Than previously. Like his offense beforehand was like a little too.
It's not as easy to play.
Yeah, it's like it's not. It was too mindless beforehand.
Yeah, it was like you were getting matches that you shouldn't be winning with Bison,
Yeah, so they took away the mindless aspect of his rushdown. So I feel like he's a little bit more fair to fight against, but he's not like overly nerfed. Like he's still a really strong character, but you have to be smart the way you play Bison and utilize his tools appropriately. So I was pretty happy with the changes what they did with Bison, but he's still like a really strong character.
Okay. Anything else you'll talk about Bison?
No.
All right. Let's move on to R.Mika.
Okay. So she got hit with a bit of a nerf hammer too.
I'm not surprised, man.
She was really ridiculous in Phase 2. So, mostly like frame data changes. So like stand. Okay, so first of all, charge stand roundhouse on hit before you could actually link into like stand strong. So
which is insane.
Insane damage. You go like stand strong, stand fierce peach, or you can go like stand strong, forward strong again for the Irish whip, which is the road toss, and then you'd backdash, and then it would cause them to bounce off the screen, like mid-screen, and you can get a charge stand roundhouse into like EX Peach or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, you can't link stand strong after a charge stand roundhouse. You can only get um, stand short, stand short, strong target combo into the Peach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just go into your target combo, and that links consistently. So
Mm-hmm.
no worries about it whiffing at all. It's just consistent, but your damage output goes down. Second of all, after Irish Whip, you cannot backdash and get the wall bounce mid-screen. They have removed that.
Okay.
But you can still get good damage off of it if you do the instead of tossing them forward, you toss them backwards, and then you do a dash into a hit or like EX Peach or even V trigger where you get Nadeshiko do the drop kick. You can actually get like you do the Irish whip backwards, you get Nadeshiko to do the drop kick, you do your own drop kick, and then you combo into either EX Peach or EX wing propeller or something like that, the anti-air grab
So
thing.
is it still so it's still worth it to do forward medium punch with R.Mika mid screen like the rope throw?
Um,
Like is it still worth it? Because
Not as much. I'd rather go for the Flying Peach
okay,
Ender.
yeah,
But you can if you have like meter and Nadeshiko, like your V trigger, it's
yeah,
worth because you can get some insane damage.
okay,
What else did they change, R.Mika? Okay, so the corner reset that we mentioned before, that's removed, obviously.
yeah,
There's something else you can do, but you'll never be able to cross under them. So before you do like a crouch fierce to go left right, not worth doing anymore because it's just you're not plus
you always
frames.
land in front.
Yeah, you're not really at plus frames afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So you would want to now do after Irish Whip in the corner, they wall bounce. You go forward fierce into crouch strong, which is that little kind of headbutt anti-air she has,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be able to set up a meaty afterwards. So that's the new like reset situation that you can
Which normal?
create.
Sorry.
Crouch strong. So you go forward fierce, so
Mm-hmm.
that launcher, and
Yeah.
then you go crouch strong.
Oh, the anti-air.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
juggles after the forward fierce,
And
and
it's kind of
then
like Birdie, where it puts you
yeah,
in
where
that
you
reset
recover right
situation.
away. So then you set up a meaty afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So still strong, she still gets a reset situation, just not a left-right cross-up that can be looped into itself.
Yeah. Um.
So um, what else did they change of her? Oh, forward fierce got buff. It's +3 on block now.
Forward fierce,
Yeah,
the knockup move.
yeah.
Oh, weird.
So that's your go-to frame trap normal.
That's strange, man. That would look weird. Why is it +3 on
Yeah,
block?
it's now +3 on block, and it's a heavy normal. So it's just
Huh.
you get the priority system on it. Oh god, so
Yeah.
good,
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
good.
Is it still a
Um,
crush counter?
I don't know. I didn't test.
Huh.
I remember. I think they also reduced the frame advantage on block on a couple of her normals, and like charge stand roundhouse is not as plus on block anymore,
Mm-hmm.
which was good because that thing was insane. I think they changed some of the frame data on her stand jab. Still really good though. Command grab ranges or command grabs got reduced damage just slightly, like maybe 10 points less, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? Can't remember all the changes. Those are the major ones that I can remember. So I think Mika is not as good as before. Like just her damage output obviously went down dramatically with the loss of all those combos,
Yeah.
but the core gameplay of Mika remains intact, and she's still a strong character, just not like overwhelmingly strong. Like she is easily one of the best characters in Phase 2.
Easily.
Easily. Just so much frame advantage, so much damage off of easy confirms. It's just such a strong character. So I feel like the nerfs she got were warranted and they're more fair.
Okay.
Um, I think they changed her V skill actually, now that I think about it. Um, I think the startup of her V skill is faster. I could be wrong on that, and I think the damage boost you get isn't as much. Um,
It's pretty insane before, man.
Yeah, and I can't remember. There's another thing about like if you do a V skill and then you wait and you do the V skill again, there's something different about that. I don't remember if it
Oh
resets
yeah, I
the
heard something about that too. I don't know. Like I don't think what's it called?
stacks.
I don't think it stacks, but there's some type of weird refreshing thing they changed.
Yeah. So something's different with her V skill. But yeah,
Yeah, I see her when you fully charge her standing hard kick, she's +2 on block.
yeah. Before it was like much more plus, right? Can you check what it was in phase two? I think it was
Yeah,
something
sure.
retarded. I think it was really retarded in phase two.
Fully charged hard kick. It doesn't say.
Oh,
It doesn't say
damn. I think it was like way more plus because like you
unless you
could
wrote it down somewhere else.
like you could do that and then go stand strong, you'll always win. I think in phase three it was like not necessarily the case.
Hmm.
So,
But it's
which
still very good.
very strong tool, and it's still a tool you'll need to use with her in the neutral game, just because.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like R.Mika, in the hands of a really good player, like they can really take this character to the top just because, her
Her rush
Nadeshiko,
down's so good.
her V trigger needs to be explored like big time. And yeah, she just has so many good mix ups with the meaties and the throw mix ups are just insane with her.
Yeah, her pressure is just really, really overwhelming.
Great
Uh,
speed, great normals, great jump. Like she's got a good kit.
yeah, just her damage output's still high, but just less opportunities to get that damage output from like anywhere on screen.
Mhm.
It's clear. Like in phase two, she just get too much damage on screen, anywhere on
Mhm.
screen. Now it's not. Now you have to. Now it's like situational. Mid screen, oh, at most you're with meterless, you're getting just a flying peach ender.
Mhm.
Corner, you can get some good, decent resets. If not, you can get some decent combo extensions with EX meter or Nadeshiko.
Yeah.
So I think she's fair, like more fair in this version, but not as nowhere near as strong as phase two.
Mhm. Okay. Are you ready? We got two characters left.
Okay,
Let's
so
talk about Dhalsim. So Dhalsim, I didn't think I'd be using him, but the chat forced me to use him. So Dhalsim, at first, I felt like he was just an absolute terrible character. Like he had some very apparent issues when I first started using him.
yeah,
He's really hard to learn at first. Really awkward character. You really got to understand all of his normals at first. You can't throw anything out unless you know what the hell you're doing with this character. All of his slides are like so damn unsafe if you use them at the wrong range, and people are gonna be jumping at you for days like crazy. I got the hang of him after a while, after I really started learning all of his normals and stuff. But then using his normals and zoning people out wasn't enough. I felt like I just wasn't doing enough damage output, and eventually they'll get in and blow me up.
yeah.
It was especially hard to land his back hard punch anti-air online, just because I feel like it's a slow anti-air, so you really have to anticipate. I had troubles. That's probably just my connection. So I used back medium punch and standing light punch a lot as anti-air, which I feel like is just not enough damage for the opponent to discourage the opponent from jumping. Because in Street Fighter 4, Dhalsim had back hard kick, which did a lot of damage, and it's a hard version of a normal. And it was pretty universal. It stopped from a lot of different angles as an anti-air attack. Dhalsim's really awkward since his projectiles all go up in the air and down besides the EX version. So I really had to figure out how to use his meter a lot. His Dhalsim Super just seems to suck. Like if you use it raw, there's so many times I used it and missed it and looked like an idiot. You can definitely combo into it though as after a flame, but I felt like it was more important to constantly use EX meter with Dhalsim, especially his EX Yoga Fire. The hard punch version of his Yoga Flame is very interesting. You can't exactly combo into it, but if you use it raw, you can actually link into another Yoga Flame. If you go hard punch Yoga Flame, you could link it into a light punch Yoga Flame. And if you're in the corner, you could link it into a medium punch Yoga Flame. If you land an EX Yoga Flame in the corner, you can juggle it with an air EX Yoga Flame. And just a lot of weird combos. You can do a back hard punch with Dhalsim crush counter into EX Yoga Flame, which juggles them twice, 2 hits. You teleport behind them and do a Yoga Flame into like an air version of a Yoga Flame. It's just really fucking weird combos. I started getting much more wins with Dhalsim when I just started losing control and just constantly teleporting, constant teleporting, and crossing up the opponent. It's not the easiest for the opponent to block, and definitely not the easiest to punish you properly because it's so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Dhalsim can get some serious damage off of his teleport when he's close.
Yeah,
His,
he goes, what was it? Jump Fierce, Crouch Fierce, Yoga Flame.
Yes. At first, people are going, air, teleport behind you or in front, and then go hard punch, and then land, and then go back medium kick into Yoga Flame. But then it was optimized to hard punch, crouching hard punch, Yoga Flame. Dhalsim's crouching hard punch is actually surprisingly good. It's not the fastest. It's faster than his other attacks. It's 8-frame startup, but the weird part is it's +3 on block.
Ooh.
And the hit advantage is +7.
Wow.
Weird. Really
what's Yoga Flame on block?
Yoga Flame is from light to EX, it's -4, -2, +3, -4. So it's the medium and the hard punch version of Yoga Flames are relatively safe, especially the hard punch version. But the hard punch version's got the most startup of all the Yoga Flames.
But you can combo off of Crouch Fierce, right? Plus, you said it was +8 on hit.
Yeah, but you can special cancel from it, right? So
yeah.
I don't think you can combo hard punch Yoga Flame after a crouching hard punch.
Oh.
I definitely don't think you can.
Really? So he's, what was it, -2 after medium punch?
Yeah.
Interesting. I played Africall Sim, and that guy was just teleporting all
like
over
a
the
madman,
place.
right?
I could not keep him locked down. It was so tough.
Yeah. And like I said, if he guesses right with that teleport and hits you,
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
massive damage
he got
into
so
a
much
mix-up.
damage. And like, I felt like on block, he was at frame advantage with Yoga Flame, but you're saying it's like minus, so I don't know. It was just like, oh man. Maybe he was doing Fierce.
Yeah, maybe. It's just got a really big
like,
wind-up time.
I'd block it, and he'd go Crouch Fierce, Yoga Flame, and then I block it, and then it's like, can't push buttons after. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like light Yoga Flame has a 13-frame startup, but the hard punch version's got a 25-frame startup, so it almost takes twice as long for the hard punch version. Another weird thing too is I was trying to figure out how to crush counter people properly, because if I blocked an uppercut, for example, with Dhalsim, I didn't really know how to punish them.
Yeah.
But then, because you can go standing hard kick is this crush counter, but it's like it's so slow. You don't really do anything after it. And then back hard punch, which is more of an anti-air. But the cool part is crouching hard punch on counter hit links into itself. So you can go crouching hard punch into Yoga Flame. And since it's a guaranteed counter hit, you will get that double crouching hard punch with Dhalsim. So I thought that was a really cool thing that they had with him. His drills, I try using his drills a little bit. You really got to use, when you're under pressure with Dhalsim, like you want to use your standing light punch, which is 3 frames. It's as fast as normal. Or crouching light punch if you want, it's 4 frames. And then you want to use your back medium kick. His back medium kick is actually quite good for getting people off you. And or you can use his crouching hard punch if you want. Like it's 7 frame startup, but if you get a counter hit it, it's a lot of damage. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and you want to teleport the hell out for sure. His V trigger, I had some problems finding how to make it useful. I thought that his V trigger just sucked, to be honest. You can still combo into it, which is some decent damage, but they're knocked on the ground and then they pretty much jump out. Your mission is to keep them in the flames as long as possible. So what I do is you would hit him with a meaty normal to keep him standing there, and then maybe go for an instant overhead jumping light punch, for example, a yoga snipe. Or you can go for a mix-up, and then they're too busy trying to block the mix-up and they're still under the fire. They actually nerfed Dhalsim's V-trigger, the amount of time the fire stays on the floor. From what I understand, it was 10 seconds before, and now it's 6 seconds.
You used to be able to juggle too.
Yeah, after you link to the V-trigger, you could go
you slide
kick.
V-trigger, stand medium kick, and they took that juggle with stand medium kick away.
You can actually do Fierce Yoga Flame into standing medium kick.
Oh.
Yeah, it knocks up in the air for so long you can juggle after it.
But you can't combo into Yoga Flame, Fierce Yoga Flame from the sounds, unless it was like counter hit, I guess.
Yeah. So his V trigger is really awkward to use. I felt like using his V reversal was more important overall, unless you were dominating your match.
Yeah.
Like I said, my first impression after using him and stuff, I felt like he was very weak. I felt like Dhalsim was weak. And I was especially annoyed with his anti-airs. Because we got like Zangief with like a crouching hard punch anti-air, and then poor Dhalsim's got you standing light punch when they're right over your head. It just really bugged me. But then I watched some of the pro players play, Arturo or F Champ, and they were just spamming that teleport like a motherfucker, and like they weren't just teleporting behind like me, like an idiot. They were teleporting in front, behind, and using it to gain space, and really taking advantage of the V skill. And using the light punch with the V skill, because I think it doesn't matter what normal you hit them with, it's the same amount of bar. So you just use the light punch, which is really fast. And they got insane win streaks, man. They were doing just fine against most of the cast. And Dhalsim's definitely got some good matchups, like Zangief, for example. Dhalsim does particularly good against, right? And I feel like Dhalsim can give the frustration that he did before when someone's really good with him. But he's definitely different from Street Fighter 4. Now, after watching like some pro footage of him, what they're figuring out, I feel like he's in an okay place right now. I don't feel like he's as weak as I initially thought. But I still think his V-trigger kind of sucks. I still feel like I really want it so that they burn when they're lying on the ground. But that might be too strong. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I just feel like his V-trigger was a very, very cool idea, but I feel like there's just some really big fault with it right now. Maybe they should make the flames so high when they jump they still get burnt. I don't know. It's funny because the opponent glows red when he's even near it. It's kind of cool.
I don't know if gray damage is the right way to do it. Like Fang takes away damage, like actual life. So I wonder if it's maybe something worth exploring.
Okay, or it can actually kill you.
Yeah. Well,
that'd be scary.
Yeah.
That would definitely make the opponent want to get the hell out of there.
I don't know if it's too good. It's tough to say. It's a really hard one to balance.
It is. Like I said, it's a really cool idea, really cool concept, but I just feel like the uses are very limited right now. Very limited. I feel like it's just something that helps you win harder and not something that like...
not necessarily. Like, especially if you're trying to get them off of you and you do the slide and you hit with the slide, then you just confirm into the V trigger and then you get damage
that's
first.
Seriously all I use it for. It's doing random slide into the V trigger, yeah. Those ones got really good throws. Like, his throws put him at perfect ranges that you need them to go, so I'm happy about that. For his throws. His slides are really weird. It's really awkward with Dhalsim having no low attack that's not a slide. Mm-hmm. And they're so hella minus. Like, oh man. I tried doing meaty as much as I can, but I was getting thrown out of a lot of shit. But his slides is in order is -7, -8, -21. It's pretty wacky. His crouching hard kick is pretty good though. For going under fireballs, it does a lot of damage. And then you could of course turn that into V trigger. There's a note here too that it's -6 block from max range. His crouching hard kick. Mm. So you can't make it safe.
Yeesh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Standing light punch, it says hits on frame 4 on grounded opponent gives +5 advantage. That's crazy. Really weird stuff. Dhalsim I feel like is one of the most high execution characters in the game, I think. Just because you constantly have to be teleporting and buffering Tiger Knee motions. Tiger Knee, Yoga Flame, Tiger Knee, teleport. And if you mess up on it once, you're going to jump towards the opponent like me, whiff a normal, and then get blown up. You don't want that to happen. You can't mess it up. Street Fighter V is not a really high execution game, but Dhalsim is definitely higher than the rest of the cast, I feel. So far, really high APM. You just got to constantly be pressing buttons and moving with Dhalsim. You can't sit still. You can't just turtle up with him. There's too many tools in Street Fighter V that allows people to close the distance in this game. But I think Dhalsim needs a little bit more tweaking. But like I said, I don't feel like he's as weak as before. And I think the really good players with him are doing just fine with him. Anything you want to add to Dhalsim?
Seems like a character that has more potential. It's really hard to figure out where he sits right now.
And he's one of the newer characters that we had the least amount of time with.
Yeah. So moving on to the last character.
Oh Zangief. Boy, yeah. Saved him for last on purpose.
So fun. What a fun character.
Zangief
and I hate using grapplers.
The funnest character that I played this beta. He's my Rashid of Phase 2. I didn't think I was gonna play Zangief, but Koa was using him for a bit because we are messing around with the stream, and just watching him play. And then I'm like, here, just give me the stick for a second, right? And I played in one round. I'm like, damn, this character is fun to play.
I think it's a really well designed.
I think this is a methodical gameplay that makes him so fun. Just slowly inching forward, constantly thinking about what your opponent is thinking at all times. Reading your opponent constantly is one of the things that makes Zangief so fun to play. The fact that they gave him an air SPD and then getting a hard read and then Tiger kneeing that and air throwing someone is the most satisfying shit ever. Wham! That shit so many times online. His light SPD range is so fucking ludicrous. It's fucking nuts. I think it's the range of like his max range of his crouching hard kick or something. It is so far.
Max range of his standing roundhouse at least.
Yeah, he can go, if the opponent is blocking, you can go crouching light punch, crouching medium kick, and still be in range of his light SPD, which really causes your opponent to be scared and jump back a lot, which is what Zangief wants because he can do a lot of funny shit. Really unique normals. What do you think about Zangief not having green hand? You think that affects him?
No, I think it's fine because he's got his V skill. Like, green hand would just be too much. You don't want to give Zangief too much mobility.
Yeah, you'd be so
otherwise you get some dumb shit you had in Ultra SF4 before they patched the first patch they did.
Yeah. He doesn't have really that SPD and then put you into this kind of vortex game style anymore. It's more of like SPD, it knocks him really far away from you, and then you got to make your hard read again, you know?
Yeah.
You slowly move your opponent to the corner. His bear grab is hilarious. Half circle back kick, he runs towards you and slams you to the ground, your back to the ground. Does a ton of damage. The EX version's got armor and he can't be killed from it. Even if he has no health and he absorbs your hits, he will not die. It's a super hilarious move to tick into, and then when people are down backing in the corner and you use it as a finisher. Yeah, the stream chat was just yelling at me like crazy to do a bunch of shit. Shoutouts to Mur. Just such a fun character to play, man. Even when I was losing a lot of matches with him. His V trigger was definitely nerfed from the first time we saw Zangief. The range where he can suck the opponent in is no longer like full screen. Now you got to be pretty close, near sweep range. If the opponent throws a projectile like Ryu and his hitbox is extended, you can kind of suck him in from the edge of his fingers. And then you got this weird kind of mind game where if you just tap it, his Cyclone, Red Cyclone, the opponent will either jump out or block. And you can do a pile driver on him, or you can do a Tiger Knee pile driver to anticipate the jump out, which is really cool. Or you can just literally use it as a damage. You can, if you hit someone with Red Cyclone, you can hold it down all the way, and you'll do a bunch of hits, and then you can link a jumping EX SPD afterwards. It does a lot of damage.
Huge amount of damage.
A lot of damage.
Good comeback factor.
And you can combo into his V trigger as well, but it's actually pretty hard to do, to reliably combo into it.
Stand fierce into it, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of stand fierce, yeah, Zangief standing hard punch, you charge it and you attack with it. All of his normals are really fun to use. Forward medium kick gets some jump. He barely hops forward, but it might be just in range for a light SPD. And standing medium kick is a really good poke. Standing light punch is really fast. Or standing medium punch, sorry.
Yeah.
His standing light punch is 7-frame startup, but it's a chop and it has one of the biggest range standing light punch in the game.
Like, it's the perfect tool to stop them from jumping out. You just go stand light punch. If they neutral jump, you just chop them out of the air.
Yeah, and then Zangief's anti-air is crouching hard punch does so much fucking damage, and they're set up for an SPD once they land. His lariat is not nearly as good as it was in Street Fighter 4, but it's good for stopping people trying to cross you up. It can be used as an anti-air, but it's got a little bit of startup to it. His forward hard punch is this stupid headbutt that
it's so fast. The recovery is insane too.
It nullifies projectiles. You can link normals after it.
You can link super
after it. Yeah, Zangief, before he was able to combo into his throws or his command throws, he can no longer do that, but he can still combo into his super.
His walk speed's really good. For a grappler, his walk speed is really good.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. His jump is not the best, But he still has his splash. And he can still do dumb mix-ups with that.
His forward dash isn't too good. Like the distance it covers is good, but the recovery is really bad on it.
Yeah, you can't really just dash towards your opponent. It's got kind of that Street Fighter 4 syndrome to it.
I think he's really well designed though. Like just all his normals and tool set, like it's just perfect for footsies, but you have to like really think about which button you want to push against the opponent.
You gotta
But
be
when
very
you
patient.
when you make the right reads though, it cascades so fast
Hmm.
for in Zangief's favor. But like that charge fierce is really good because it has one hit of armor on it.
Yeah.
Um, so against characters of like their best poke has a lot of like recovery time to it. So like
Hmm.
Vega forward fierce, Nash forward fierce, even against like fireballs or something like that. If you anticipate on this and you start charging that fierce, you will crush counter them.
Hmm.
Like it's insane. It's so easy to get. But the thing is like there's so much recovery on his fierce. You have to be really careful. Especially against like characters like Nash. Nash can whiff punish hard. Like he'll
I think that's
go
Zangief's hardest matchup, man. Is fucking Nash.
Nash probably
It feels
and Dhalsim.
impossible.
Like Nash, if you whip that fierce against Nash, he will go crouch fierce and then V trigger and then you just fat combo.
Really?
Yeah, you can just whiff punish so hard. And Geef's roundhouse crouch roundhouse sweep. It's so much recovery on it. You whip
Minus
that
10. Yeah.
like if you whiff that crouch roundhouse, oh my god, the whiff punish is really bad. It's a
Yeah.
lot of damage against you.
Zangief he's funny, man. His forward hard punch headbutt is +2 on block. It's
Oh,
+7 on hit. It's +7 on hit, man.
dude, the range it has decent range.
It
Like
has
I
these
know
range. You kind of go forward, and it's
forward,
really great as a meaty when the opponent's getting up. Because if he jumps, if you hit him in the air, it knocks the opponent back to the ground. It doesn't reset them.
oh nice.
It just flat, boom, knocks them back on the ground. Same situation.
But like it's really fast. It looks fast anyways on startup, and then the recovery is a lot of fast. So it's really hard to whiff punish that headbutt.
Hmm.
So it's actually like a good footsie tool. Like all his normals are great footsie tools. Like
Hmm.
so like every button has a purpose in the footsie game.
Yeah.
So I think he's strong in that department, but it's just like the reward for getting in is just like you said, like if you get in, you're not getting a whole lot. Like he doesn't really have combos, so you're only getting like maybe a few hits into and then maybe a tick throw or something like that.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't really get much damage once he's in, like because you're gonna do a couple buttons, maybe set up a tick grab, maybe not, maybe push more buttons, and you get like small hits here and there.
Hmm.
The SPDs don't do a whole lot of damage, and when you do finally land an SPD, it resets you back to neutral. So you got to work
Yeah.
all the way back in. But like I feel it kind of balances itself out because his footsie tools are really strong and like crush counter, fierce or stand roundhouse all lead into an SPD.
Yeah. Air
Uh,
SPD or ground SPD.
yeah, so he gets a lot of damage in the neutral game from those kind of things. So I think that was kind of like their design intent with the character. Like
Hmm.
he gets in, he's scary, but he doesn't maul you afterwards.
Hmm. Maul you.
Like, like in SF4, he lands an SPD, and you're like, frick! Like you got to deal with this mix-up and all that stuff, and it's just this wheel of options that's really unfavorable afterwards.
Hmm.
All and then only to be put back into the same situation. Right? Now it's like, okay, you only have to deal with the threat once he's up close once, like if he lands the SPD, and then at least you have a breather. You
Hmm.
can reset back to neutral,
Hmm.
make Geef work for it again, which might weaken his comeback factor. Like it actually does weaken his comeback factor because if he's low on health, then it's really hard to like land that V trigger and stuff with armored normals or armored specials.
Hmm.
But he's just a strong tool set, in my opinion.
His V skill is the crab walk.
Yes.
Where he turns red and walks sideways. Really funny. A lot of applications. We had a huge argument in our stream chat over whether to tap it or hold it. Everyone had different opinions. If you tap it, you can kind of use it like a ghetto parry, and then, if you walk and actually use it as an attack when you hold it down and you hit him with the flex, it's like a really good tick for the SPD, the light SPD. Really, really funny. I think the counter hit, if you hit him with the flex, it actually links into super. which is also really really funny. Get hit by the flex and then the super. Zangief's super is really insane because it can literally link for almost everything. You can go crouching light kick into super as long as you can buffer that 720 motion, which I couldn't, and crouching medium punch into super. It just, man, if you're good at buffering 720s, man, you'll always be a huge threat from all your normals when you're close. So his V-Skill, I feel like, has to be explored a little bit more. It actually stops a lot of block strings that people do if you are able to time it properly and just buffer it into SPD. But damn. Oh, and Zangief's light SPD in the air has the exact same range as the ground one, right?
Are you serious? Holy
Yeah, we found that out. We had neutral jump, and then I neutral jump, and I'm so far away from the opponent, and he literally teleports into my arms with the jumping light SPD. So that way, no matter if the opponent is like a little bit far away and he tries to jump back, he'll still get grabbed by the air SPD because the range is so fucking insane.
I guess that's why it's so easy to beat DPs.
Yeah, it's just.
They just
Zangief is such
right
a fun character, man. He's really hilarious.
So well designed in SF5, in my opinion. So fun.
Really, really interesting take on the character. And I like I said, I don't play grappling characters, but he was the funnest character for me to play during Phase 3, which was very surprising. So I'm glad Street Fighter 5 is like kind of opening me up to like different characters that I would never think I'd use at different playstyles, like Rashid and Zangief. Yeah, man, Zangief is just so fun. So many cool things to talk about with this character.
Yep.
You guys should definitely check him out. He's really fun.
But I think like the cast right now, they're in a good spot. It feels like the overall balance is pretty good.
Yeah?
I'm pretty satisfied with the overall balance of the game. Obviously, maybe some characters need some tweaking. Other characters just need more exploration. But cast is good. Like, it's just really, really well done so far, in my opinion. Like, I know everyone complains about the nerfs and stuff, but I think from a balancing perspective, I think it's a pretty good spot right now.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see the beta character or the DLC characters.
Oh yeah, DLC. Oh man, Urian, please.
Yeah, Alex and Urian.
Oh my god.
Gonna be nuts. Really gonna be interesting to see the Third Strike characters, how they implement them in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're done with all the characters. 15 characters. Like I said, fun was not in the game. Let's wrap up this podcast with our new and improved tier list.
Okay, so we're gonna start from the bottom and let's start from the bottom this time.
You want to start from the bottom? Okay, so what are our grades that we're using?
I think what we agreed upon is A+, A, B, and C.
So A+ is not God tier, right?
No,
it's just...
I don't think any character has reached S tier status in this game.
Okay. So A+, so the best. And then A is very, very good, but they have some bad matchups. And then B is like your average character.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the middle. And then C is a character that seems to be lacking.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to start with C?
Yes.
Okay, C, before we put Necalli in there, and we put Cammy in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
God.
we put Ryu and Cammy in the bottom tier.
Okay, Cammy definitely not in there. Oh my god, just such a brutal guess. Ryu, even though they did take out his unblockable setup once again, I still feel like he does a lot of damage still. He can't be a C. I'm thinking Ken.
I think Ken at the moment, but it's mostly because a lot of nerfs, and I'm not sure like what the major impact that has had. It felt like it caused a huge impact to Ken, but I don't know if other people made the character work. But
I need to watch some good Ken players to
the general reception seemed like he's a lot weaker now. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're putting him in C tier.
If you guys like know any good Ken footage I can watch where someone's actually playing Ken as Ken the character, and not just smashing scrubs, let me know. I want to see some high-end Ken play, really using his tool set. Mm-hmm. Necalli, I think, moved up from Ken. I feel like Necalli has been explored a lot more, and he's just more dangerous now. Yep. He's not exactly at the bottom now.
No.
I still think Necalli's great as a character, even without V-Trigger.
Yeah. So I think Ken is the only character that belongs in C tier right now.
Really? Okay. Poor Ken. He's in his own tier again.
In his own tier.
All right. So let's move up to B. There's probably gonna be a lot of characters in this list.
Yes.
So B.
I'm gonna say R.Mika.
She went from A plus to B, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's still good. It's just a lot of the fair changes she gives has drastically reduced her damage output that she can get off of stray conversions.
Mm-hmm.
Just fair. Um, Tick grab game's still good. Like it's just tool set, core gameplay is still the same. Just not as much damage from stray conversions. No crazy reset game in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Still has one, just not as crazy good that looped into itself.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say the original mix-up was crazy good, but it was ambiguous enough.
Mm-hmm.
Less damage output. That's basically it. Just like less damage output, slightly less frame advantage on some of her normals and stuff like that. So it kind of reduced her pressure game. She still got a pressure game, still good. Still has a really strong tick throw game too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just overall like strong, but like not as strong as before.
Okay.
And I think enough of the characters got buffs that it also balances her out that way too. So that's why I put her in B tier at the moment. She could be an A tier, but we'll see.
Okay. I'm just gonna agree with you because I don't play R.Mika.
Next in B tier is Rashid.
Yeah, I feel like this too. Especially since he really needs his mix-ups with his V trigger. If you waste it, I feel like he's gonna have some issues, especially in the neutral game with Rashid.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of unsafe stuff.
I don't think he does.
Normals are really weird.
He doesn't do great damage either without like resources anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Which and coupled with his like weaker neutral game, it makes it difficult to really get going with Rashid.
Yeah, B sounds right with Rashid.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Next in B tier, I'm not sure about this choice anymore. I put Lara in B tier, but after going over her frame data and stuff like that, she might jump to A tier. But I think she needs more exploration.
Okay.
But her neutral game is a little bit weak, in my opinion.
And she has troubles under pressure.
Yeah. So that's why I put her in B tier at the moment. But her offensive game, once she gets in and they're using her frame traps and stuff like that, I think she's really oppressive in that aspect.
I think B is fine because like B means they have some apparent weaknesses. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think B is fine for Laura. She could definitely hold her own, and she could potentially be like A, like you said, if you really get the opponent under pressure, and her frame data is pretty insane. But I do think her normals are kind of iffy when you're playing that neutral game.
Yeah.
She falls like it's just like Rashid, you know.
Yeah.
And then I guess Necalli would be B, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Necalli.
He's designed to be intentionally have weaknesses at the beginning, and then buffs once he gets V trigger activated.
Yeah, so when he activates V trigger, he's like A, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because he has an intentional design weakness to him, I think it holds him back a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I put him there. But he's still a good character. Like I said, I had a lot of problems fighting against Necalli as Nash.
Yeah. Really easy to use, really powerful. At least he's not C rank anymore for us.
I think we put him in B, not C. We might have had a D tier. I can't remember though.
No, I don't think we did. He was C.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
He wasn't on the bottom. He was like one tier above bottom. That's where we placed him.
Oh, okay.
So he might have just stayed the same.
All right.
Lastly in B tier, Sim.
Dhalsim.
Yeah.
I agree with Dhalsim. Like I said, at first I thought Dhalsim was clearly a C, but I think he's B. He's got some huge weaknesses. Really high skill cap character. You need high execution. Winning with Dhalsim is not easy.
No.
He has a struggle from beginning to end. It almost feels like you can lose at any time you screw up. You gotta be really fucking careful with this character. So I definitely think he's a B.
Yeah. After playing against Africole Sim and seeing like some of the other Sim players, like what they figured out, I think he's an effective character. But yeah, he just plays this tightrope game throughout the entire match.
Yeah.
But he can be like really frustrating to fight against if you can't pin him down. Those teleports just make him so mobile.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Uh,
Is that it for B's?
yeah. So
All
now
right.
let's move to A.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with Cammy.
These are above average characters.
Yes.
Cammy, this is an easy A. Some people might even argue that she's an A plus, but
She could be
Cammy
an
is
A
very
plus.
fucking good.
She's really strong. Strong footsie game, strong damage output.
Amazing walk speed.
Some mix-up potential. Like she has more ways to open someone up than other characters, which
Okay.
is quite a significant
Mm-hmm.
factor there.
Mm-hmm.
They did nerf her some of her neutral game, so that kind of dropped her a little bit. Like some of her footsie tools got nerfed a little bit, but
Okay.
still strong character. Um, very very frame trap heavy when she gets in.
Yeah. Cammy's really, really good.
Yep.
Okay, next up on A.
Geef.
Zangief.
Yes.
This one's kind of iffy. Zangief, I would float between A and B. I just feel like Zangief is kind of like Dhalsim, where you gotta make sure like, at all times you need to be reading your opponent correctly with Zangief.
But Geef is at least he's allowed to make more mistakes than Sim does.
Yeah, and that's why you put him in A.
Not just that, I just feel like his footsie tools are really strong, and as an SF5 where footsies are very dominant, part of the gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
I think that puts Geef high.
He's very, very fair, and yeah, definitely someone you can take to the top. He does have definitely some bad matchups like Nash, so that stops him from getting to like A plus. But Geef's just a well-designed character.
Yep. Moving
Lower
on to the
surprise.
next character, I say Ryu.
You think Ryu is A?
Yes.
I don't know if anyone's gonna believe you there.
I think he's really strong. In phase 3. Like, not crazy damage or anything like that, but he still does good damage. The crush counter sweeps really helps him. Buff on his sweep really helps him.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Good meaty
think
normals, really good meaty normals.
yeah, and I think people are starting to get used to how to use Ryu, this version of Ryu. So that's why
Okay.
he jumped in the tier listing as well.
Still high damage output. Really
Solid tool set to handle any situation. Like he's got the anti-air specials.
frame traps.
Obviously he's got the frame traps. He's got the reversals. He's got the zoning, like the fireball game. Like
His
a
walk speed
very
got buffed.
very strong, like a very well-rounded tool set. So that's why I put him in A. Plus he's got that unblockable. But yeah, they did remove it. But in phase 3, we're looking at this from a phase 3 perspective.
Yeah,
He has an unblockable setup, and
which is fucking insane. Yeah,
that puts him into A tier as well.
yeah, for sure. That alone, I'd say put him in A tier.
So moving on, Chun-Li.
Oh, this is easy. Chun-Li for sure would be A.
Yeah, maybe
Chun-Li's
A
really
plus.
fucking good.
So I think she has the potential to be A plus.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she's a little harder to use just because you really got to understand all of her different normals. They all have their really, really distinct like applications, but Chun-Li definitely A. She's come a long way, man. And I think we said she was A before in our previous tier list.
Maybe B plus or something like that. I'm not sure.
Chun-Li is great.
She's a good character. Moving on from Chun-Li, Karin.
Karin A, hey. So they did nerf her a bit, but you still think she's up there just because of her normals alone, hey?
Her normals, her frame trap game, the ability to open people up, even though it's a little bit gimmicky, she still has tools to open people up, both in and out of V trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of ways to confirm into super, so she's always a threat. Just like a solid ground neutral game. Just really hard. Like it's really like if she wants to like she's not a pressure type character. Like she has a good frame trap game, but her strength comes from her footsie game. So like if she plays solid footsies, it's really hard to get in on Karin. And it's really hard to like open her up because she's just got solid tools. And she also has like a good anti-air and reversal that EX palm. So she's equipped for most situations.
She used to be our A plus on our last tier list, right?
Yes.
So she moved down.
Yeah, because she had better damage output. Also that mix-up game, like she had additional tools. So they removed those, which kind of lowers her down to A. Plus they buffed some other characters.
Okay. So is that it for A's?
Yes.
So it's time to talk about our top characters in the game, A plus.
Yes.
How many characters do we have at A plus?
4.
Okay.
So let's start off with Bison.
Just get right to it, hey, Lord
Just get
Bison.
right to it. Lord Bison. He's more fair, I think, than
Not as
previously.
mindless, yeah.
But they gave him a couple more buffs. They did take away a couple of things, but that's okay. Still has strong comeback potential. He's being explored more, so people are figuring out new things that make him better.
Yeah.
That target combo is really interesting too, and has some useful practical applications.
Yeah.
Still has that strong comeback factor of V-trigger, both as a combo extender and just raw aggression with the dashes.
Mm-hmm.
So can't really count him out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much Bison.
Like his down forward hard punch, like that target combo, if you can link into it somehow, then you get a full combo off of it. You're in a lot of pain.
Yeah, because is down forward fierce special cancelable or no?
No, it's not. But you can link a crouching medium punch after it.
Oh, crazy!
So it's just
then you get
insane
medium
amount
kick
of damage.
scissors. Yeah, then you get medium
Yeah,
scissors.
and it's a crush counter, so it's like, I don't know, man.
Pretty nuts.
A lot of tools with it.
Yeah.
I feel like Bison really needs an overhead. If I were to buff Bison again,
Oh man, no, that's.
I think Bison needs an overhead.
I don't think he needs an overhead. The guy's a brick wall.
I think he needs a fucking overhead, man.
He's a brick wall. He's a brick wall. It's what he's designed to be.
All right, next A plus.
Birdie.
Birdie, man. Birdie's always been way up. I think we gave him a B plus last time, but Birdie is just the amount of buffs this character's gotten on his already insane kit is just fuking so good.
So nuts.
If
Just
the opponent's throwing fireballs, you throw out a chain. If he blocks too much, you fucking jump grab. Just his V trigger comeback factor is just fucking ludicrous. Just so many tools for a lot of situations. The only thing I can say that sucks about Birdie is his command grab range, but he still has a command grab that does a lot of damage. So
yeah, still a threat. The new stuff that people have discovered with Birdie is one of the reasons why I shut him up to A plus.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives us a better picture at how Birdie should be played at a higher level.
Yeah,
and it's very hard to open up Birdie in that regards. Like strong footsies, high damage output, actual good like meaty setups, meaty pressure into like tick grabs, like tick command grab stuff. So yeah, strong character. He does have a couple problem matchups, but other than that, I think he's well equipped to handle the majority of the casts.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So the next character, Vega. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Vega is one of those characters that he's A plus right away. I think he's standing right next to Bison. You know what I mean? Where these like no-brainer A plus characters.
So again, like really fast walk speed, insane. Like probably the fastest character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think only Cammy would like contend with his walk speed. Fast walk speed, which means really good for footsies, and he's got a full complement of normals to go along with that walk speed for the footsie game.
Mm-hmm.
So many of his claw normals are just insane range, and opens up a lot for him. So good frame traps, good footsie tools, and then without claw, he's got some rush down tools. He's got a command grab, really good dash, good anti-air options all around. V trigger hits crouching consistently now.
Yep.
Like good. Now he's got good comeback potential off of that too.
He's already at the top, but he just got better, man.
Like new stuff. Well, he did lose a lot of links here, so
yeah.
But like. Also, new things people discovered, like the fast fall off of EX wall dive, right? That's significant.
How does someone find that?
I don't know. They're just holding down and pushing buttons, and it's like, go faster.
Maybe a Capcom rep told somebody.
Who knows? But like, lots of stuff that got discovered with Vega that made him stronger overall.
Mm-hmm.
He did get some nerfs, but I don't think there were enough. The buffs like really compensate for that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I put him. An 8+ tier. Which brings us to our last character, the biggest surprise of them all, Nash, sitting at the top.
Call me Nash.
So, this is
How
part
the
of.
hell did Nash get the A plus killie? How did this happen?
So I think part of it was probably the one of the most explored characters out of the cast.
Definitely. Super popular.
So a lot of top players used him. So it was really easy to see like all the different play styles and formulate how you should be playing Nash.
Hmm.
But they buffed a lot of his normals. Not necessarily all of them. They buffed a couple key normals that make it really strong. So he plays a really strong neutral game, like a mid-screen game. His tools are strong, so good footsie tools overall. But you have to know when and where to use each of those normals. So you just can't throw them out at any range. Otherwise, you can get punished. Like forward fierce, if you throw it too close, you're getting punished.
Hmm.
But if you throw it at the right range, it's a really oppressive normal.
Hmm.
A lot of things can be confirmed into his V trigger. So you get huge damage output off of that. Even the V trigger itself can be used to open people up. Sonic Boom, EX Sonic Boom, or Fierce Sonic Boom, and then you teleport. You get some mix-up options off of that.
Hmm.
Fast overhead, which is huge.
Hmm.
Not many characters have a good overhead. I think like Vega, Karin, and Nash have good overheads.
Still
Uh,
minus on block though.
yeah, so you got to be careful.
Hmm.
A lot of good counter hit combos. He's got really probably like some of the best crush counter normals in the game. Forward Fierce is amazing crush counter, and like Stand Fierce is actually really good for frame traps.
You get special counsel from it now too?
Yeah, you too. You could always special cancel
Oh,
from
it
it.
could?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So F-Champ showed like when I played F-Champ, he did a couple good crush counter setups on me, and I'm like, oh my God, these are really good. But the only thing is you have to commit to the special cancel. It's really hard to like, because it's really negative on block.
Hmm.
So it's unless you're guaranteed the crush counter, you're not gonna just throw it out there,
Hmm.
right? So you're gonna like you're gonna do your setup, you're gonna throw out the stand fierce, and then you're gonna assume it's gonna crush counter, and then you're gonna just special cancel it
Hmm.
anyways. But if it does all work out as accordingly, you get a lot of damage from it.
Hmm.
Um, Really good zoning tool set. So he's a versatile character too. Brick, like good mid-range game with his normals, like for footsies and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but also a solid zoning package as well.
Hmm.
Um, a plethora of anti-airs. Like he has an anti-air for every situation, which is so good. Um, and so like yeah, he's a really good dash. So he's like good everything pretty much.
So you're
Like
saying Nash is the king of Street Fighter V right now?
Uh, no, well, no, it's just some characters need more explanation. It's not like Nash can't lose. Like Nash can definitely lose, right?
That's
Like
so good.
he has some problematic matchups. Like I feel like Necalli gives him a problem. Cammy can give him a problem. It's not like he can't beat any of those characters though. But
Hmm.
like yeah, there are certain characters that can give him a problem. Like Geef might be a bad like he gives Geef a hard time, but like Geef has the tools to beat Nash. He
Hmm.
just has to make right reads on
Hmm.
him. But he definitely has the tools to beat Nash.
Hmm.
So it's not like Nash is invincible.
Hmm.
But he's just really solid tool set
Hmm.
and versatile tool set. Couple weak spots is that yeah, he doesn't have a good defensive game. Like really hard to get people off of him. So you have to spend V reversal or V trigger to get out.
Hmm.
Um, so that's like his only major weaknesses. Like a lot of his normals are negative on block, but if you space them out right, you're fine. So, not an easy character to use. That's
Hmm.
probably another weakness. Like you really have to know how to use his normals.
Hmm.
Slow walk speed also hurts him a little bit, but like I said, fast dashes are amazing. Lots of ways to use his dashes. So all that put together, and Nash is a really strong character in Phase 3.
Hmm.
And the sad part is he was even better in Phase 2.
That is pretty sad. Oh my god. Okay, so let's summarize this tier list.
So
So in our
A plus. Oh,
C,
okay, C.
we'll start from the bottom. In C tier, it is Ken. He is by himself. B tier, R.Mika, Rashid, Laura, Necalli, Sim. Laura is debatable, we feel.
Yep.
A is Cammy, Gief, Ryu, Chun-Li, and Karin. Chun-Li is debatable because we feel like she's really strong, might be A+.
Yeah.
A+, sorry?
Cammy could be debatable.
Cammy could be debatable as well to be A+. A+ is Vega, Nash, Bison, and Birdie. So let us know, guys, how you feel about this tier list. They're going to say, how can you make a tier list? The game's not even out yet. Who do you guys feel like is strong? Who do you guys feel like is weak right now in the game?
There's a lot of stuff that needs to be explored with characters. Like
Yeah.
Laura feels really underexplored. Sim is obviously underexplored.
Yes, for sure.
And maybe there's some stuff we're missing with Ken.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely with Ken, because I don't know Ken. That's why he's in poor C rank right now. That's really funny. So are you ready to wrap this shit up?
Yeah.
So we're at the 3-hour mark.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. So we at VesperArcade like to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Thanks for taking the time to watch this podcast, guys. We really appreciate it. We're heading down to the new year. It's going to be nuts, man. A lot of crazy things happening for VesperArcade in the brand new year in 2016, especially with Street Fighter V. So I'll be making a video telling you guys some of our future plans. But really, guys, thanks a lot for taking the time to watch this, man. And let us know your feedback from you guys playing the beta. Have a good night.